Welcome to another episode of the Pound for Pound Boxing Report. I am your host, Michael. And we got a full loaded show tonight. A lot of folks here on the show with us tonight. Join us live from San Diego, Gail Falkenthal of Communities Digital News. Join us live from the UK. We got EJ Boxing Live. He hadn't been here has not been on here for a while, but he's back. Also, Mr. Boxing Addicts also joined us from the UK. Sean Newton joined us live from Taiwan. Taisha Lacey joined us live from Trinidad. What you need. What's going on, ladies and gents?
Hey, hot summer nights.
Absolutely. Hot summer night and rather slow period of boxing this month. But we're going to get the show rolling. We're going to keep talking boxing regardless. For those who are new to the Pound for Pound Boxing Report, the Pound for Pound Boxing Report is a live YouTube show /blog/podcast that discusses all things boxing. If you want to find information about the Pound for Pound Boxing Report, just go to the blog page, p4pboxingreport.wordpress.com. If you look to the right of the page, you'll find links to where to find Pound for Pound Boxing Report all over the interwebs, all over social media, the 2G Plus pages, Facebook page, the Tumblr page, the Podomatic page where you can find previous episodes of the podcast, the Twitter handle, which is at P4P Boxing Report, the YouTube page where you can find the live show, past episodes of the show on YouTube, the Pinterest board, the RSS feed if you want to subscribe to that. We're also on Stitcher Radio. Just go to StitcherRadio.com and just look up Pound for Pound Boxing Report. That's P-O-U-N-D, the number 4, P-O-U-N-D Boxing Report. We're also on Flipboard, online magazine Flipboard. Again, just look up Pound for Pound Boxing Report, P-O-U-N-D, the number 4, P-O-U-N-D Boxing Report. Also, if you look to the right of the blog page, you can find an email address, which is p4pboxingrpt@gmail.com. Lastly, a link to donate your account. DonateYourAccount.com/p4pboxing is the link. Be a friend, be a pal, be a buddy, donate your Twitter account, and what happens is any tweet that comes from the Pound for Pound Boxing Report Twitter page, your Twitter account will automatically retweet any tweet that comes from the Pound for Pound Boxing Report Twitter page. Let's get the show started tonight. Like I said, boxing has been rather slow, rather dull, rather dry this month, so we're going to go into some news segments. We are going to talk breaking news that happened earlier today as Canelo Alvarez, Miguel Cotto. It's official now. News broke earlier this morning that Cotto and Canelo's official is going to happen November 21st at the Mandalay Bay in Vegas. Catchweight of 155 pounds for Cotto's middleweight championship. Since you hadn't been here in a while, EJ, I'm going to go to you first. Unmute your mic, brother. Now that the bout is official, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, this is great for boxing. It gives us everyone to talking about the matchup, Puerto Rico versus Mexico. We've got obviously the stylistically matchups, and legitly, as far as I understand, it's no catch weight, so we're fighting officially.
Well, from what I read, there is a catch weight of 155 pounds. So.
Oh well, he suits Canelo, but the thing is, Canelo's been fighting around that weight anyway, so he's cool with it. It's not like Canelo's being drained or anything. And also with Cotto as well. Cotto's always said he's not a legit real big middleweight. So we're getting a fight. Puerto Rico with Mexico. The weight is not really an issue. It's for the middleweight belt. And, obviously the winner hopefully is going to fight Triple G. So there's a lot of things to talk about after the fight, in fact, and depending on how the fight is. And I'm going with Canelo. I think Canelo is on form. I think to me, just in his last few opponents, I think he showed something to me that I feel like he's going to win. And I expect a great fight. And the undercard hasn't been announced, so hopefully they're going to have a good undercard. And I'm real pumped about this matchup, man. The whole YTV has been infused with this new energy. It's a great thing for boxing. And I'm telling you, man, I'm really happy about it, man. The future looks bright, man. I might have to put some shades up. I'm telling you, it's real good, man.
I'm going to go to you on as well as Mr. Boxing Addict. Again, it's been a while since you've been on here. And then you can follow up Taisha and Gail. Your thoughts on this bout? Highly anticipated. Looks to be, on paper, possibly the fight of the year. It's a fight that everybody wants to see.
Yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant fight. We've been crying out for a fight like this, haven't we? I've said for the last few months that I thought that Canelo would win this fight. Possibly with a late stoppage, but the more I'm starting to think about it, the more I'm thinking Cotto will have a decent chance in this fight. I think the styles will gel quite well. and it'll become a bit of a shootout in the end. And I don't know, I'm really 50-50 on it, and that's what makes it such a great fight. So yeah, really pleased about it.
Taisha, Gail, I'll meet your mic, Taisha.
All right. Like he said, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. This is gonna be um a good fight. Like I don't know who that was. I was talking. I think it was Mr. Boxing at it. I was also leaning towards Canelo only because I don't I'm not 100% sure how Miguel's gonna take one of those thunderous hits from Canelo. So other than that, if he takes a punch well, then the fight's gonna be, not just a one-sided fight like most people think it's gonna be. The only thing that I think that would make the fight one-sided is if he can't take the punch, because I haven't seen him get hit that hard in a long, long time. And just face it, Cotto isn't a young Cotto anymore. So that is the only thing that I'm thinking about. Like, well, is the fight gonna be one-sided? Is he gonna, get hurt and blah blah blah? Other than that, I'm really excited that the fight's actually here. It's finally signed. There's actually a date. There's no more prima donna bullshit going on. Everybody's happy. It's gonna happen. So I'm just waiting for it to come about so I can watch it.
Gail, then what you need, and then Sean.
Outstanding fight, two very strong personalities. The Mexico-Puerto Rico rivalry, I mean, it could only be better if it was on Mexican Independence Day weekend. But as it is, late in November, they're going to get all the hype and all the build-up all to themselves for a good month, because the previous big fight that's on the calendar is the GGG Lemieux matchup. So we've got a few weeks in between those. So the total focus will be on this fight. Someone's going to have a very happy Thanksgiving follow whoever wins. And it's really a 50-50 fight. You do have a pretty serious age difference. Cotto is close to 10 years older than Canelo. Hard to believe. Canelo is just so young. And Taisha's right. It is all going to come down to whether Cotto, if he gets hit like we know Canelo can hit, can he take it? I think that's going to be very, very difficult. And in everyone's mind, we've got this mental picture of what he did to James Kirkland, and I can imagine that that's got to be in Miguel's mind too. But Miguel's got other tools, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be, as they like to say, epic. And my room and my tickets are booked. I wouldn't miss it.
I'll go to you on what you need, and you can follow up, Sean. You always like to analyze the bout from a technical standpoint, what each fighter does, the subtle nuances of a particular fighter's game. Early on analysis of Cotto and Canelo from your perspective. Are you there? What you need?
Oh, sorry. Well, basically, I'm looking forward to this as a pay-per-view event. So for me, I think this is a real pay-per-view event. I think this is probably the only one for the year that really is, in all aspects of the word, a big pay-per-view. You know that your expectations are probably going to be matched or exceeded in this fight. So that's the first thing I'd say. Technically speaking, well, the thing about it is, right, what people are underestimating is Cotto's punching power. I think it's because of the opposition he has faced, where there have been certain things in favor of Cotto. But if you think about it, Cotto just put down 184-pound Daniel Geale. That's pretty big. You know what I mean? I mean, Canelo did put down James Kirkland as well in a much more emphatic fashion. But Kirkland's not really the most sound defensive fighter. Geale's a little better. So it's pretty interesting, that people are not considering that Cotto has punching power as well, especially the left hook that he uses. So it's just something worth considering as well when you think about both fighters. Now, I don't want to go too technical on anything right now. I just say that Canelo's an extremely smart fighter. Extremely smart fighter. Miguel Cotto, he could box a little bit. You know, he has some boxing skill. And so what happens is it's going to be quite a skillful fight. People think it's just going to be these two guys just going to go and bang. No, no, no. Canelo don't do that, and Cotto doesn't do that either. There's Cotto imposes his presence. He got an aura about him, I think. And Canelo is very smart, and he actually counterpunches quite well, and uses the combinations to find the opening. So we'll see what happens. That's basically it.
Go to you, Sean.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, if you would have asked us a few years ago what fights we wanted to see outside of Mayweather and Manny, this would have been the next fight that everybody was craving for. And everybody at that time would also tell you this would probably be a much better fight as far as styles. I mean, who's not excited to see Canelo against Cotto? At 155 catch weight, I mean, I don't think that's an issue because both of those guys are not true, legitimate middleweights, or at least Canelo's not a true middleweight yet. So they will match up well. They both will come in strong. They're both powerful. They both looked good in their last few fights. So, I mean, there's nothing to expect that this fight won't be full of fireworks. Well, they both are technically skilled fighters. I mean, I don't think this is going to be that technical of a fight. I think Cotto is going to come out aggressive, and he's going to force Canelo to have to deal with what he's bringing, which is going to make it a really aggressive and exciting fight for the first 6 rounds. I think sort of reminiscent of Cotto against Manny, when Cotto pressured Manny and Manny had to really fight back, and I think it's going to be similar. Of course, I mean, they're going to use skills and stuff to set up their shots and to put this pressure on the other guy. But, I mean, I think after 6 rounds, Cotto is just going to get worn out and he's going to get stopped inside 10. The younger, physically bigger fighter is just going to have more. I mean, I know people say that Canelo also, he has problem with stamina and wind and that kind of thing, which is true. So that could play out as well, but at this point, I mean, I think it's not going to be really that big of a factor. Sorry, motorcycle noise.
Arguably the fight of the year for the rest of throughout the rest of 2015. A fight I really can't wait for. I want it to happen now. I don't want to wait till November, especially given the lack of boxing that's happening right now. We need something big, but 50-50 fight for me. I can see scenarios where both guys win. I think the fact that Canelo is a bit inconsistent in terms of his punch rate, that does play a factor because of who Cotto is, how skillful he is, and the fact he will be smart enough to take advantages of those low periods in Canelo Alvarez's game. But on the other hand, if Canelo really comes forward and applies the pressure, particularly to the body, how will Miguel Cotto handle it? When was the last time you ever seen Miguel Cotto in a fight where someone steadily goes to his body with hard shots, and at this age, how will he be able to deal with it? Conversely, when was the last time Canelo Alvarez has faced anybody with the serious power of Cotto? Yes, he's lost. I felt he lost to Lara. He lost to Floyd, but those were boxers. I mean, yeah, he faced Kirkland, and Kirkland could punch a bit, but Kirkland is not good. Is not nearly as good technically as Miguel Cotto. So Cotto will be able to hit him with more consistent power punches than James Kirkland ever will. So how will Canelo Alvarez deal with that in the end? I'm not ready to make a prediction on that now. I'm just going to say I'm glad the fight is happening. The fact the fight is happening is based on the fact that, let's face it, Miguel Cotto, the diva that he is, he got all the demands that he wanted. So that's why the fight's really happening. Real talk. We all know that. But glad the fact that he got what he wanted. Now the fight's happening. I really cannot wait for it. Let's move on.
Hold on. I want to ask Sean something. Yo, Sean, okay, you know how you were just talking about Cotto not being able to probably take the punches from Canelo. Now, what do you think? Because we all know that Canelo sometimes has problem with going the distance. Do you think those left hooks that Cotto might land might aid to that? You know what I'm saying? Make him gas out a little sooner.
But the thing is, I mean, Canelo has always made the distance. I mean, people have questioned that his punch volume was down. But I mean, we can look at a guy like Floyd. I mean, punch volume isn't necessarily that big of a deal if you can control the fight a different way. I mean, of
Right.
course, land those big lefts early, hoping to sort of turn the tide on him. That's why I think the fight's going to really heat up quick, because he's
Okay.
going to throw those big lefts, and obviously it's going to make an impact. But I mean, yeah, I just don't think he has. Let's put it this way: what world-class fighter has Cotto beat in the last 6 years?
That wasn't already going downhill? Nobody.
Exactly. He's not beat anybody that was like at their prime. He hasn't beat anybody that had anything to give him. Not to disqualify him. I mean, he's a great fighter, but I don't think at this point of his career he is at that point.
This is his last hurrah, probably.
He beat Martinez, man. Beat Martinez.
Oh, here comes the trolls.
Stop
I
that.
ain't trolling. I ain't trolling. He beat Martinez.
But we all know Martinez. Let's face it. He was
Yeah,
broken.
Martinez had.
He was broken
Yeah,
down.
he had 2 broken knees though.
Hey, who told him to get in the ring? Come on, man. Yo, you don't get in the ring. He the one. If he sold out the middleweight belt, that's on him. How am I trolling? Like, if he's got something wrong with, he should have retired after the Murray fight and just went about his business. He greedy for the money. No, he greedy for the money, and he weight drained himself. Now Cole took advantage of that, and that's that. The bottom line is this: that's gonna be a good fight, and I hope bloody Alvarez beats him. And Alvarez, fights Triple G, because the two of them, if they don't fight Triple G, they both be triple ducking. That's why I get. I hope Alvarez gets through, because Cole has been ducking Triple G. And then, to be honest with you, man, we need the undisputed middleweight title right now, undisputed champion. And that's what I gotta say. Sorry to interrupt.
Well,
No, I mean that's not where we were going with that. Where we were going is that who has Miguel Cotto fought that can give him, a problem? I mean, he didn't get any problems out of Martinez. I mean, like we said, he had 2 busted knees.
Hold on a minute, right? First of all, going into that fight, I picked Martinez to win that fight. I didn't think the knees were going to be an issue. I just thought Martinez was a harder punch. So only everyone's saying that after. I don't know who you picked before, but before the fight, I picked Martinez.
I picked Cotto. I picked Cotto knowing that Martinez had bad knees.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take away the knees. Let's say if he didn't have bad knees, would you still pick Cotto to go in that fight? And if it wasn't
I still pick Cotto to win the fight. Yeah, I do. But the point is that I already knew that Martinez had bad knees. He showed it in the fights previous to that.
Cotto's last good fight was 4 years ago against his rematch against Margarito, which was a spectacular fight. He was driven by revenge. That was a very unusual circumstance. Think about his fights since then.
Margarito was
not super distinguished.
Margarito was finished already in that fight, man. His eye was coming out of his socket every time he got punched. It was coming up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm just saying, like, Cotto exceeded himself. Cotto exceeded himself on that night. Now I'm trying to think. This is what I'm boxing. I'm telling you, bro. Like, I thought Martinez was gonna whoop that ass. I didn't think he needed his legs. I thought Martinez he knocked out bloody Paul Williams, and Paul Williams never got knocked out before. So
EJ.
Everyone just said Martinez was incredible. I don't know who was watching. Martinez was probably pound for pound one of the top 3 for years.
Yeah, EJ, if you look at it, mate, Martinez was. I mean, do you think Martin Murray would have beat Martinez if he wasn't on the decline? I know he didn't beat him and get the decision.
He did beat him.
He was on the decline.
Going into the fight, did anyone pick Martin? Did anyone pick Murray to win the fight? I don't think no one picked Martinez going into that fight. I don't think Murray. I don't think anyone picked Murray to win that fight going into that fight. No one did. So
no, they didn't.
It's on the
But what I'm
upper
saying
it's
is
on
Martinez
the upper
was definitely on the decline because there's no way that Martinez would have, drawn or made it tight.
This is the thing. Even on
Murray,
even on the odds,
even
yeah,
in prime.
even on the betting odds, yeah, it was very close. No one had a big landslide. I think Martinez was still the favorite. So my point is, the last couple of opponents, good opponent was supposed to be Martinez. That was his last good opponent. This just so happened his legs came in. It wasn't good enough. But that was his last good opponent. For Cotto, that was his last good opponent. But for me, I'm picking Alvarez. So that's the way I see it.
Can I make a point?
Go ahead.
The point was, we said, what prime good fighter has he beat? And Arrow, you didn't disprove anything. No,
Call him EJ Boxing Live. Don't call him by his first name.
Arrow.
EJ Boxing Live. You don't like. Don't call him by the Gov. So.
Sorry, EJ. So, did you disprove our point? You said that the Margarito fight, Margarito was shot, his eye was falling out of his socket. Exactly.
Every time I get bumped
One second and let me finish.
Right.
That's our point. He was shot. He wasn't prime. Cotto beat a guy who was beat up by Manny Pacquiao and hadn't recovered and basically was retired. Sergio, he was shot. His knees were fucked. He's retired now because he's that. Nobody knew that going into the fight, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he was a shot fighter. We thought he would have something, but we did know he was coming off injury. He didn't. He was shot. He was finished. These things just prove our point. Cotto hasn't beat a top-level fighter in probably 6 years. Prior to that, he lost to guys. I mean, he lost to Manny. He lost to Claudio, really. So, this is a fight where he's fighting a guy who's coming into his prime, and he doesn't have what it takes to win. And I agree with you. Alvarez is going to win, and then we're going to get Alvarez and GGG.
Good, but we can argue that Trout beat Canelo. We can argue that Lara beat Canelo as well. You know what I'm saying? So we can go back on forward.
But no one's talking Canelo. We're talking Cotto.
I know, but I'm just saying, I know that. But I just mentioned Canelo. But I'm just trying to say you can go backwards and forwards on their opponent. The bottom line is they're going to face, and we're going to find out.
Here's the thing.
Are prime fighters. Neither
here's
one.
Here's the thing. Sean, Taisha, Gail, you're all right. Cotto has not faced a prime guy in a long time. But that doesn't mean that he cannot beat Canelo. He still has an excellent chance to win. That's why I feel it's a 50-50 fight. Look, Canelo, he's the younger guy. He's the harder hitting guy. He's the fresher guy. But you cannot discount Miguel Cotto out of this. He still has a chance. He still has a very good chance of winning. And that's what makes this fight so exciting on paper.
Yeah, I don't think any of us counted him out. I was just asking a question, like a general question, like as if Cotto actually applies pressure and gets to his body with that left hook, do you think that's going to make a big enough difference in the fight? That's all I was asking.
Yeah, you're right. It could make a difference, but the other side of that, Cotto, given his guile, given his experience, given his skill set and what you need boxing at, if you want to get in on this as well, unmute your mics and chime in. Cotto can do things that can thwart that, based on what he has in the brain, based on his experience, based on his class. He can do things in there to counter that. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And EJ, he does have. It. Yes, he can.
No, wait a minute. What do you mean to counter? I was talking about Cotto going to Canelo's body with the left foot, not vice versa.
What I'm saying is that Cotto can do things in there to offset Canelo attempting to dig that body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. There are things he can do. Whether he can...
The question is, can he do it for 12 rounds? That's the issue.
Can he do it for 12 rounds? Can he avoid Canelo while also mounting enough of an offense to win? I think it's entirely possible that Cotto defensively does a very good job. I don't know if he can hit Canelo hard enough or enough entirely to overcome Canelo's offense. That's what makes this such an interesting fight. Look how
on the cards.
How much difference of opinion we already have about this, and we've all got what we think is a very valid viewpoint.
Yeah,
right.
That's what we love about this.
Yeah, Canelo always fades. Yeah, that people talking about Canelo fades in the late rounds. Cotto's proven for 12 rounds he's strong. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this.
I don't think they're going to get
the way around.
I don't think Canelo's going to have to worry about it. I don't think they get there.
The fight gets signed today and everybody's already at each other's throats about it. I love it.
Just back and forth dialogue. That's all. It's back and forth dialogue.
I'm gonna fight Triple G. I know he ain't gonna duck Triple G after the fight. I know Cotto will be ducking him all. He's been ducking him all year.
For boxing's sake, Canelo should win, because if Cotto win, to EJ's point, I don't think he's gonna fight Triple G.
Tell you what, if Cotto don't knock out Canelo, Canelo wins already before the fight starts. He will not win a 12-round decision over Canelo. Before that reason right there, because boxing needs Canelo to win. So that potential Triple G fight can be made without the whole prima donna bullshit behind it.
Only way
the smartest thing that's been said so far. You're absolutely right.
Right. Only way Canelo will fight a Cotto if it's his final fight, and for him to cash out at the end. That's the only way.
Because you know Cotto's been an embarrassment on the middleweight division, draining guy opponents. He's been an embarrassment as a middleweight champion, man. I've never seen in the history of middleweights that you're a middleweight champion. You're getting guys to calm down a smaller weights to have the advantage. If you didn't like it, then don't fight that weight class. So
Cotto has admitted straight out he's not a middleweight. He's been asked a question and he says, I'm not a middleweight.
He'll tell you, I'm not a middleweight, I just won the belt.
He's got the belt. He knows it.
That's all he said it in the interview. He says, no, I'm not. Do I look like a middleweight?
But he's also smart enough, especially at this point in his career, to know that it would be the height of foolishness for him to get in the ring with Triple G. So if we really, really want to see this, de facto middleweight tournament,
right?
The way you get the final is for Canelo to win.
You've been off the solid over there. What you need? You got anything to add in?
Hey, Triple G might get exposed, man, by Lemieux. So I don't know. He might get knocked out.
Nice segue, EJ, because we're gonna talk about Lemieux with Triple G. I'm gonna go to you on this, Miguel, since you kind of have some inside information on this. At least at the beginning, the first 2 days for Triple G and Lemieux is going to happen October 17th, I believe. Record sales for the Garden. What's the insight on that?
Record sales, very interesting, because there's always in boxing a pre-sale, for people that are on the email mailing list, or you've got a membership to various ticket sites and so forth. So 48 hours prior, the pre-sale takes place for folks who want to get in early and get their tickets, and then they're released to the general public. The Garden posted record sales this past week with their pre-sale, their 48-hour pre-sale for more tickets than were sold for the last Klitschko fight there. More for this pre-sale for boxing than they have ever had. And I think the final pre-sale take was 7,000 tickets. Everyone's pretty excited about this to see what the final house will be. Clearly, the fan base now for Golovkin has been proven. People are excited to see him get a worthy opponent in Lemieux. And, in my opinion, what's also making the magic happen is a really good undercard. For once, we have a killer undercard for this fight. People will pay for it and get excited about it. Lesson to all the other promoters out there. And I'm talking to you, Al Heyman. Come on. People will fill the seats when the talent's in front of them like this. Good for K2, good for everybody involved, good for Golden Boy. It's just all good. It's all good for boxing.
Since it's been a while since you've been on here, both EJ and Boxing Addict, I'm gonna give you the floor to give your thoughts on the fact that Triple G and Lemieux are going to happen. Your thoughts on this bout? Both EJ, then you, Boxing Addict.
It ain't pay-per-view, that's what I know. I don't know why they're making us pay for that. They ain't pay-per-view. I know we got 2 belts in it. Triple G gonna win that fight with inside 5 rounds. And the interesting fight on that is the undercard. Is Chocolito versus the Hawaiian Punch. That's what's up right there. That's very interesting, but I don't think it's worth paying for, in my opinion. I understand why they're selling out. I understand why it's selling out. Fight fans know that's going to be an exciting fight as long as it lasts. You know what I'm saying? Because if you talk about Alvarez and Canelo, they ain't got no power like Lemieux. Lemieux has legit power at the middleweight limit. Whether he's been knocked out, whatever, he's a legit threat. He could hurt Triple G. But we're going to see what Triple G is about. But I tell you what, man, the sales on like you said, the attendance already, people tickets, yeah, it's definitely going to be sold out. But I don't think people should pay. But I understand what they're doing. They're trying to build Triple G as a pay-per-view star, and if you obviously have 2 belts, so you can market him as, you know, the unified champion, and obviously wait for the champion. So I understand what they're doing, but I don't think people need to pay for it. But that's just me. And Al Heyman, yeah, I agree with what Gail was saying, because Al Heyman should have capitalized this month in August and put on some great fights instead of Talbot and Condon, whatever. They should have put more fights on. So I agree with what Gail was saying, but this is a great fight, and but I just don't think people should pay for it. Go ahead, Boxing Addict.
Yeah, I think it's a terrific fight. I think it's worthy of pay-per-view personally, and if I was in New York, I'd be paying to go and see it. I think it's an excellent fight. Lemieux, you know, let's not underrate Lemieux. He is an absolute banger, and you know, if he can connect with Golovkin and get hold of him, you never know what's going to happen there. This is an absolute war fight. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, Golovkin makes the best fights for a guy like Golovkin is with the guy that comes forward. And for those who are watching or listening who did not see Lemieux versus Ndam, you want to talk about a bang and move forward fight. That was it. That's what fans like to see. And I do think Golovkin's going to take some shots. He's rarely had to take much punishment to give it. Is he willing? Yeah, we still don't really know whether he was letting Willie Monroe hit him here a few months ago, or whether Monroe was legitimately getting to him. I think Triple G was kind of letting him have at him, knowing he couldn't really hurt him, and maybe wanting to test himself for what eventually was coming down the line. Who knows? The only other shot we've ever really seen him take was when he got hit by Gil and then ended up firing a knockout counterpunch. That's the kind of thing we could see. It's just going to make for a great fight. And, you know, good luck to David Lemieux. I think win or lose for either of these guys is certainly not going to hurt their box office one bit.
Can I just ask a question? Is the Mayweather-Berto fight a pay-per-view fight?
Unfortunately, it is.
Right. Okay. Well, you cannot even compare the two. You can't say.
You're comparing them. I'm not. And I ain't cheating.
I'm just making a point.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna burn straight off you though. But go ahead.
I'm just making the point that if Floyd Mayweather versus Berto is a pay-per-view fight, nobody can turn around and say that Lemieux against Golovkin and Chocolatito on the card is not a pay-per-view card.
Yes, they can, because it's canon for Triple G. The only competitive fight is the Viloria fight.
Isn't for me. And Berto isn't for me.
Well, I don't think we should pay for Mayweather. What are you talking about? I don't think I should pay for Mayweather either. I'm not paying for Mayweather, so I don't know. There's no comparison. I pay for either one.
Okay. Don't get defensive. I wasn't even talking about you. I was just asking the question and putting it out there. If Mayweather's a pay-per-view card, right? If Mayweather's a pay-per-view card, then I think that Lemieux and Golovkin is a pay-per-view card. That's one of the best fights this year that I've seen. Lemieux.
They got one of building. They got one you're building a star in Triple G, right? One you're building a star, yeah, right? And the other one's on his way out. It's his swan song, the last fight in his contract. If he wants to make us pay, he said you don't have to pay for it. If you want to pay for it, fine. He don't care. I don't want to pay for it. I don't think it should pay per view. But it was not a good opponent. I'm the same with Triple G. You know it's a one-sided fight. Why? You know he's gonna beat. Does anyone even give Lemieux a chance to win the fight?
But EJ, wait a minute, EJ. You just talked about how Lemieux was a legitimate threat with his power.
Yeah, he is.
Now you're saying
I think we should pay for it. I don't think we should pay for it though. I'm being.
But
consistent.
you just asked the question: do you think that Lemieux is a legitimate threat?
He is, but I don't think.
Who is a threat at middleweight? Lemieux's
he's a better threat than Cotto and Alvarez, is what I said, Mike. Yeah. Furthermore, yeah, I'm saying to you, yeah, that I don't think we should pay. And I ain't cheap. I pay for fights if they're worthy. But you know, it's gonna be if this fight goes 12 rounds, yeah. I'm gonna be impressed. Trust me, I'll be impressed. And if it's a war, 12 rounds, I'll take it. But I'll come back on over here, pound for pound, and say, you know, I was wrong. I should have paid for it, and blah blah blah. But for now, I'm good. This is my opinion. I'm saying no. And the Berto one, I don't even compare Floyd. Floyd is on the way out. Forget Floyd. Triple G is supposed to be the future. Wants to be the undisputed champion. Is a different thing. But against Lemieux, nah, not pay-per-view. We shouldn't pay for it. That's my opinion. If everyone's got another fight.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I rate Lemieux obviously a lot higher than you do. I think he's certainly. Well, I don't know why you're laughing. He's only been beat once.
He's not beat twice actually. He's been beat twice actually. Yeah.
Sorry, right.
Yeah, exactly. Knocked out by.
Hang on. People were saying that Andam was one of the top sort of middleweights out there, and he absolutely destroyed him.
Who was saying that? Listen, it was cannon full of Lemieux. He knows Lemieux. Who picked that? Actually, what you need probably picked him. Listen, let me take.
Hey, hang on. Ndam's a good fighter, man.
Listen, mate. Listen, there's no way he was gonna beat Lemieux. There's no way, man. Lemieux had it. That's why. Look, everyone knows he's the A side in that fight. Lemieux was just gonna. He was gonna get bashed up. It was an exciting fight. It was an exciting fight.
How about we put it like this then, EJ? Name me 3 middleweights better than Lemieux.
What in the division? There's no the middleweight. The middle is weak. The middle is weak. It's all division. I'm just saying to you, yeah. Every Triple G is the king of all them clowns down there, right? They're all clowns, yeah. All of them, Lemieux, all of them, yeah. They're not ever gonna give him no trouble. I'm talking about fights where but we're talking about Canelo and Cotto, where we're like, you know what? I don't know who's gonna win. That's what I'm trying to say to you. If I'm paying my money, I want 50-50 fights where I don't know who's going to win. I know Triple G's going to beat him inside 5. No one can tell me nothing, and I ain't cheap with it. That's all I got to say. Go ahead, boxing at it. I'm not trying to just rain on.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, I obviously rate Lemieux a bit higher than you do, but I think that they can have an absolute war in there. And, you know, I don't want it to last 12 rounds necessarily, but it could last 6 rounds and be an absolute war and a brilliant fight. Whether GGP will win it, you know, maybe he will, but Lemieux will give it a damn good go, and he'll be trying to take it.
I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he proves me wrong. I ain't got no problem with that. I hope he proves me wrong.
You're on mute. What you need? Get into this conversation here.
Listen, EJ's come over. Everyone's scared now. No one wants to rumble. No one wants to rumble with me, bro. What's going on, man? Come on now.
I'll rumble with you.
Wait a minute. What you need is unmute. Wait a minute. What you need has unmuted his mic. Let him have an opportunity to speak.
Come rumble with the king over here. Come on, man. Let's get it.
What you need has unmuted his mic. I'm gonna give him an opportunity to speak. What you got to say on this?
Well, first and foremost, Lemieux. I always wanted Triple G to fight in his weight division. Legitimate competition in his division. I wasn't interested in moving up or moving down. I want to see if you really are the true middleweight that you claim you are, that you're the goods. So when Lemieux beat Hassan Ndam, and these guys are ranked in the top 10 middleweights in the middleweight division, and do understand Lemieux did the same thing as Peter Quillen to Hassan Ndam, I realized, therefore, that this is 2 world champions, and at the championship level, guys raise their game. So obviously, this match to me is a legitimate matchup. No matter what other fans say, in my opinion, this is a good test for Triple G as far as I'm concerned. I want to see, because Triple G hasn't fought anybody with power of recent note. The only guy that you could talk about is what's his name? That beat Lemieux. What's his name? The
Rubio.
Marco Antonio Rubio.
Yeah, he has, I think, 70 something knockout ratio.
Curtis Stevens.
And
yeah, you're right, Curtis Stevens.
Yeah, but I'm talking about recent times. And,
right. Because Rubio is one of the only 2 guys to beat Lemieux, and Golovkin had a 2nd round PKO against or knockout against Rubio last year.
Right.
That's the point.
Continue on with your point.
Rubio. So.
Terrible.
Right. So basically, I'm saying that, in my opinion, this is my opinion. This is not nobody else's opinion. In my opinion, it's going to be a competitive fight. Lemieux is not the greatest. He's not a slick boxer or none of that. He uses his power. But what I saw against Ndam showed me that Lemieux has some skill, and he can push his opponent backwards. Now, Triple G, you got to understand, Triple G is very good at going forward. Shane Mosley, very good at going forwards. Andre Berto, very good at going forwards. I want to see how these guys go, how they fare when they go backwards. And a guy like Lemieux, while he will get tagged by Triple G, I guarantee you will get hit. We'll see if Lemieux has a good chin or not, right? Remember, Hassan and Dam did land a lot of punches on Lemieux. So I'm expecting that Lemieux will get hit by Triple G. We want to see how he responds to getting hit. And we want to know also how Triple G. Now, I got to say two things about Triple G, first of all. Those European fighters, they, especially the Russian fighters, or the fighters from the Eastern Europe, they are trained to be mentally tough. What you guys see sometimes when Triple G gets hit, because I remember when he won his title against I always forget the guy's name, but the guy he won the title off of, right? That guy could also hit very well, you know. And that fight went 3 rounds, and there was some nasty, hellacious shots that guy hit Triple G. He sucked it up because mentally this guy is tough. He's not just physically tough; he's also mentally tough. And that's something that, you know, he's been tried through the fire in earlier fights. Not against great names, but still, you know. So when my boy EJ was saying that Triple G, he might plow through Lemieux, I can understand where he's coming from. But I got to tell you now, if he underestimates Lemieux, I'm going to say it straight and plain. Lemieux going to put him up. He's going to deck him. He's going to deck him. He's got that changing power where he can deck a guy. Lemieux, because he become world champion, you know his level of his game is going to be elevated. So I expect Lemieux to be even better. And something tell me Oscar De La Hoya, he's not just feeding Lemieux to Triple G. I think Oscar De La Hoya is setting up to see what Canelo could do against Triple G as well by using Lemieux. Yeah, but he's not just using him as a feeder. I think Lemieux's going to step up his game. And I think that just the fact that Lemieux beat Ndam. Now, you know I'm an Ndam fan, right? And I went out on a limb and I said Ndam gives Triple G a lot of problems because of his style. And if he don't get knocked down about 7 or 8 times by Triple G, he could win the fight. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying Ndam he's mentally tough as well. Peter Quillen hits like a mule, folks. 182-pounder. And Peter Quillen put down this guy 7 times, and this guy, he couldn't put him away. And I'm just saying, you have to think about the mental toughness of these fighters, and the fact that Lemieux, you know, I remember a couple times Ndam had Lemieux in trouble, and Lemieux sucked it up, right, and came back. So all I'm saying is, this gonna be an interesting fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, even the Andre Berto versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight, even though everybody says suck, I'm starting to think twice about Berto as well. But that's a whole other story for another day.
Yeah. You need to understand, when you get hit by Triple G, you stay down. Let's put it that way. You don't be walking up no mummy. The mummies don't be coming back again. When Triple G hits you, you stay down. That's the difference. All the other guys you mentioned, they all roundabout circle. Triple G's power is something. He got that skull punch where he hit you on top of the head, and I see the bodies reverberate like an echo effect through the body. What he did to that Rubio, that's what he's coming with. Lemieux's down. Within 5, that's it. It's over within 5. We're moving on. Keep it moving. That's what I'm saying. And girl, where you at, man? Girl, you said you want to come back. You said you was going to rebuttal me, girl. I'm waiting. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Oh, we're talking about the pay-per-view stuff?
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. Come on, let's go now. I'm rolling up on that. Go ahead.
Number one, as I said in our little private chat window, you're a cheap bastard, man. Come on.
I'm actually not. I pay for Bellew and Cleverly, and ask Boxing Addict about that. I pay for Bellew and Cleverly too. I'm the only one in England.
Stop. Beverly and Cleverly. Beverly, that pay-per-view, no offense, but pay-per-view in Great Britain only. You will pay for that.
Yeah.
But Lemieux and Triple G, that's not pay-per-view worthy?
No, they're not. You know why? The entertainment value alone in the press conference, yeah, they called me. It wasn't worth it. The fight was terrible. Sorry to interrupt, girl. They con me, and I agree that I got conned, but I paid for it. My point is this: I don't think it's worthy of a pay-per-view. That's what I'm saying, because it's a mismatch. Bellew and Cleverly, as for my eyes, I thought it was going to be competitive. It just didn't turn out that way. All I'm saying, that is not competitive. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So what are you paying in Great Britain for these pay-per-views?
Okay, all right. But the thing, Mayweather's robbed us. I paid £19.95, pounds, It's not that much. I know you're laughing, £19.90. That's the highest we've ever paid. I was laughing, And normally the pay-per-view is £14.95. But you know what, girl? What you don't understand is that on our Sky account, there's other things like football's the biggest thing on the thing. A lot of people play for. They got other sports channels, movie channels. All of the combined probably comes over 100 or something. I don't pay that much, but I'm just saying. Right? So it adds to your bill at the end of the month. And Boxing Addict should know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I pay about £70 a month just to buy sports.
Exactly.
$1,000 a month anyway.
See? There you go. Right? So anyway, go ahead, girl.
So if you're paying £20 for a fight, right? That's a little, for our American listeners doing the math here, and I just ran this on a calculator, pound to dollars today. That would be a whopping $31.23. Yeah. Really, you are bitching about $31 fucking dollars?
We get it free over here. We get it free. I'm not saying. I don't feel. Look, if you like, look,
that's my point.
Nah.
What are you complaining about?
Yeah, if you feel like I want to hear some other people because they're all in the States. Because girls,
okay. All I want to point out is I do agree with you that the Mayweather fight, which is going to end up being something like $75, is overpriced.
Right.
Triple G and Lemieux, which is going to be, I believe, $59.95 in the U.S., worth every penny.
You shouldn't pay nothing. You shouldn't pay nothing. That's what I'm saying. No one should be paying for that. They shouldn't be paying for that. It should be free. You know what?
I like people to give me a nice car too, but they don't do that.
No, but look, we do, because the PVC, there's been free. We're getting freeness all year. So I'm saying, why are you gonna make us pay for that? That's not even like a 50-50 fight.
All right, so you've bought this free boxing for all Kool-Aid is what's going on. Look at what free boxing for all has given us. What did we just say about the crap PVC fights? You get what you pay for.
Come on. We've been wherever the facts have been. Some of them have been duds, but we've been getting freebies. I'm not complaining. All I'm saying is this: not everyone's got big bucks, and Mayweather, right? Listen to this: Mayweather against Pacquiao rob people's pockets. I'm just saying. How much can people keep going to the wall?
I do agree. People have a bad taste in their mouth because it's Mayweather.
$100 just the other day, and now you're paying again. Come on.
You know what? That was clearly people are pissed about that. I think that was a one-time anomaly, and they've learned their.
So what I'm saying,
I think Mayweather's going to have a hard time getting the money. I'm just strictly saying, if we're talking about the GGG Lemieux card, that is worth every dime. Measured against nothing else. Measured not looking back.
Let me try to understand what you're saying.
Hey, you know why I said it. The reason why I said it is because of the Mayweather thing. And you guys are over there, and even me. All right, I ain't pay as much as you, but I'm saying it for you guys in the States. Some of you guys paid near 100, maybe not you girls, some of you, and now you have to pay for this. I'm just saying, if it wasn't paying so much against the Mayweather and Pacquiao, I probably wouldn't complain so much. But you guys are paying way too much. And it's adding on to that. I'm saying it's way. Come on now.
Are you saying, EJ, that because of the sour taste that Mayweather Pacquiao left in everybody's mouth, why should folks pay that again? It should the Canelo. All that should be free. Just
maybe not the Cotto because it's the end of the year.
Well, the Triple G.
Maybe not the Canelo Cotto, but this one here, I think it should be free. I know maybe not everyone's gonna agree with me. Then fine, but I'm not cheap. I'm trying to say I don't mind paper, but this is not even. It's not even gonna. All right, maybe you might get excitement if you're there. 2 rounds, 3 rounds, fine. But really, it's the undercard is gonna sold the whole card. That Viloria fight versus Chocolito is gonna get a proper test. That fight there, that's a winner. That's just my opinion, Like, not everyone's gonna buy it. Gail obviously doesn't, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's good. It's all good.
Michael, can I say something there? with pay-per-view, these big fights happen because of the pay-per-view money. So sometimes they need to be pay-per-view. So Golovkin versus Lemieux, for me, just going back to the original point, is one of the best fights this year. So it should be pay-per-view.
It's not competitive, man. It's not competitive.
Let's end this.
Whether you think it's competitive or not, it's still probably it's still two champions in the division fighting each other, and two of the most exciting boxers out there.
Let me wrap this up. I tend to agree. At first, I was skeptical about whether this is a pay-per-view bout, but I tend to agree with what you need here is that because of what Lemieux did in his last fight, because this is a unification bout, and because of the undercard, that it's worth it. I understand your argument, and there's some validity to your argument, EJ. But I think in this specific fight, because of what's overall on the card, I'm turning myself around on this, and I'm not mad at the fact that this is a unification bout. Because see, for me, yeah, it could go 5 rounds. It could be 5 rounds of war where one guy knocks each other down. Well, each fighter knocks each other down, and if you get Roman Gonzalez and Viloria on top of that as a great fight, on top of that, and I think Amir Imam is going to fight on this card as well.
Yes,
if he impresses,
Stavern as well, I think.
Stavern as well. So yeah, put it all that together. At the end of the day, it's probably worth it. It's probably worth it.
I would just say this though. I didn't say that.
Stavern.
Michael.
He's terrible.
Michael.
Go ahead. What you need? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I didn't say that it was a pay-per-view card. I didn't say that explicitly, but what I'm saying is it's going to be a pay-per-view card more than likely, right? Because I think HBO is going to push it as a pay-per-view card. What I want to know.
Pay-per-view card. That's a done deal.
Right, it's good. So it is a pay-per-view card. So it's not about if or whether it's a pay-per-view.
Not an if.
So the question is this, right? How did they do in ticket sales? The pre-ticket sales were how much?
Record sales. Already 7,000 already in 2 days.
All right, that means people want to see this fight.
Yes, they do.
So that's an indication of what you could look at for pay-per-view. So if they're going with pay-per-view, all right, we have to see now some sort of. We already got a sign that people seem to want to see this fight. So the next thing is let's watch and see how the pay-per-view sales turn out of this fight, because honestly, this is an action-packed fight. No way how you turn or twist it. It's going to be an action-packed fight. And the card is loaded. And whether people say, some people say, well, we go to watch pay-per-views for the main event. Well, whether you watching the main event or not, I want to see Brian Viloria versus Roman Gonzalez. I don't care about nobody. I'm a Brian Viloria fan. I want to see that.
That's the one that's the card. Who's the gun fighting, by the way, please?
The dude. What's his name? The Lopez dude is Lopez? Ortiz Lopez? Ortiz, right.
The main Stavern's fighting Ortiz. He's not fighting Ortiz. I don't think that fight's happening.
The Cuban dude?
No, I don't think that's not happening.
Luis Ortiz?
Luis Ortiz. I think they said that Wilder. Not Wilder. Jennings. Jennings had turned it down, but Stavern. I don't know about Stavern.
Oh, Stavern's fighting Luis Ortiz, right?
I think he might replace Jennings for that fight.
All right.
I believe that's right.
That's a good ass fight, man.
That's a good fight. That's just my opinion. And you're right. There is a demand, but people buy anything, man. Man, boxing fans, they'll buy anything, man. They rumble. They've seen. Come on, man.
No, that's why pay-per-view, baby. But I would say this. I was reserved like EJ on this pay-per-view thing because I thought this is none of the guys are pay-per-view stars. Usually when you do a pay-per-view event, one of the guys is an established pay-per-view star, So I didn't really see it, but apparently the pre-sales tells me I might be wrong. So we'll see what happens.
See, that's my point. When you put it all together, plus the sales early on, that's why I'm turning around on it.
And a lot of people saying they ain't gonna watch Floyd Mayweather versus Berto, but a whole set of people are gonna buy that.
I don't understand how you can be a boxing fan and not watch it. I don't care how much it is or who his opposition is.
I gotta watch Badu Jack versus George Groves, so I'm gonna pay. I gotta see that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. We don't necessarily know for sure whether it's going to be Floyd's last fight, but it legitimately could be his last fight. Taisha's totally right. God, she's on it tonight. In complete agreement here. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna you might hate yourself for it, but you're gonna buy it.
Because you know you love boxing.
I don't have outside of everybody else, I don't have a problem with Berto getting the shot at Floyd Mayweather. I'm gonna stick to my guns on that. I don't have a problem with it. And at the same time, I think it's gonna be a little bit more competitive than what everyone think it's gonna be. Yes, we know Floyd is gonna do what Floyd does in the ring. That's obvious. But I don't think it's just going to be just as boring as everybody's, oh, this is going to be boring, Berto sucks, blah, blah, blah. People, I mean, Berto's a fucking professional athlete. He's going to go in there and try to fucking win.
Absolutely.
Especially because it might be Floyd's last fight, and this is the last time that anyone may have a chance to dethrone him. He better go in there and fucking throw his balls to the fucking wall and try to beat him.
It's a stinker, man. It's a stinking fight, bro.
Here's my thing, right? Here's my take on it, so that you guys can understand. I don't think Berto's a bum. I don't think that at all. But here's my thing. I saw Keith Thurman, right? And when I watched Keith Thurman's resume, he fought a lot of fighters that Berto fought. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of like, I was hoping that Floyd would fight a Ring Magazine top 10 welterweight, because he did it for the last 9 years, you know? So I was a little disappointed about that, and the fact that I know Berto's still rebuilding. So I know Virgil Hunter will get him ready, but I was like disappointed in that fact. You know, I didn't go around bashing Floyd and stuff because I knew he'd done already fight everybody. But what I was saying was, you know, I was hoping that he would fight at least an Amir Khan or somebody in the top 10, because that's what he did before.
All right, what you need? Let me say this, because I like to produce my own theories in boxing, whether they come true or not. I still conjuring up in my head. All right, I think this is just a shit fight for him to get out of his final fight, whatever the contract is with whoever he's with, right? And he doesn't really care if people buy the pay-per-view or not. Check it out that he's fighting a fighter that has some pretty good fucking hand speed, correct?
Yeah, good.
We're all in agreement that Berto has some hand speed.
Nah, man. He's punchy, man. He don't know where he's hitting. But go ahead, though. I'm listening. He's punchy.
So,
let her finish.
So, outside of that, okay, what I think is possibly going to happen is that this is not Floyd's last fight. I think his last fight is going to be against Amir Khan. And this is his way of stepping up to that speed.
But he just fought Pacquiao, though.
Did you see what he did to Pacquiao in the ring? Pacquiao didn't display no fucking speed.
That's the thing. Floyd's that fast. He's quick. I'm sorry.
I know this. I know this. And look, I know he's one of your favorite fighters. I understand that. And I am not disagreeing with you by any means. Floyd made phenomenal people look fucking mediocre. I get that. That's why I dig watching him fight. But what I'm telling you is that I don't think this is going to be his last fight, and that his last fight will be against Amir Khan, because it's going to be that, what do you say, that bigger payout.
Right.
Mark my words. Mark my words. I know it sounds far-fetched right now, but when next year, when you guys start hearing people, when you start hearing TMT talking about possibly fighting Khan, remember, Taisha said it first.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, he going out. He don't give a f about the fans. Where he had the money. He picking Berto, but he went to fight Berto a long time ago. And I think Berto's to argue the fact that they say he don't fight African Americans, so he picked Berto, who got beat up by what's his name?
Berto's not African American.
He's African American, eh?
Berto is Haitian. Berto is Haitian.
Where is he born? Where was he born?
He's Haitian.
He was born in Haiti. That's why he was born in America.
No, Haiti's not in America.
No. Berto's not African American. He's Haitian.
Okay. So
and that's why I told everybody else before, Keith Thurman's not gonna get a shot. Floyd, I don't know what it is, but Floyd does not fight African American men. He's not trying to give them no paper at all.
Okay, so someone told me he was born in America. I know I know Haiti's not in America.
He got Haitian descent. I don't know if he's if he was born.
Okay, fine. But I heard that the reason why he in the Olympics he fought for Haiti because in America they wouldn't let him. But don't mind anyway. The reason why he's fighting Burrow is because just like a big fu to the fans, because he don't get no respect anyway. It doesn't matter who he's fighting, he's gonna get criticized. It's probably gonna be anyone. People thought the fights against Furman and maybe Paul, they might be a bit more competitive. But the reason why he's fighting Burrow is because end of the day, it's just like you know what? I'm just gonna take a easy fight and just get out of it. That's it. I don't think he's gonna come back. I think that's it. I think
See, that's too simple. That's too simple for me to believe that. Like, yeah, I mean, I can understand it. Like, yeah, fuck it. No, nobody respects it anyways. My last fight, I'm gonna take a soft fight out. I just don't think it's that simple.
Well, yeah, but what I'm going to, all right, as a competitor, right? As a competitor, you beat the guy who everyone said you couldn't beat. So as a competitor, what is there to come back for? If this fighting Burrow shows you that he's losing interest in the game, if
no one thinks he can beat Khan, why won't he fight Khan?
He don't want. He playing. I don't know why. I want to see the fight with Khan, but why won't Khan fight Porter? Why won't Khan fight?
I don't want to see Khan fight nobody but Brook, BSG, and fucking Peterson. Those are the only 3 fights I want to see him fight.
He's had enough for trying to give what the fans want. Yeah, he's just doing what's best for him. And the reason why he's picked Burrow is a big fu to everyone else. But I don't care. I'm gonna watch it like everyone else.
But Floyd has never given a fuck about what the fans want. Floyd's always did what's best for Floyd's career.
No, he hasn't. He does care what the fans want. He actually
does. Give me an example of when he cared about the fans.
Well, the fans wanted him to fight thing in the rematch, Madonna in the rematch. They were saying that the fight was close. And what about the Castillo fight? They were saying the Castillo, he lost in the Castillo fight, and the fans were demanding he win a rematch, so he gave him a rematch. So Floyd does care what the fans want. He gives them what they want. He's just giving Burrow, the reason why he's fighting is Burrow. I'm going to tell you the reason why he's fighting this Burrow fight. I'm going to give you the real reason why he's fighting this real Burrow fight. It's to do with Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not.
Nelly's best friend with Burrow, and Burrow came out on TMZ you might have saw it. TMZ, Floyd, stop calling my phone. I heard you breathing. After Floyd is sensitive to that stuff because when people criticize him out in public, he gets offended. That's why the fight was made. Furthermore, it's the same thing Ricky Hatton criticized. Floyd said, I have more action in my little finger than Floyd does in his whole career. And the fight was made. That's how Floyd is, and that's what gets him motivated. The reason why he's picking Burrow is to punish him because he can't punish Miss Jackson, so he's going to take it out on Burrow. And it's over, and there's nothing else for him to come back from. Khan needs to go about his business and fight Brook. He don't need to come back, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I think. That's my.
Let's move on from Mayweather, though. That's where I didn't want to talk about that, man.
We've gone on long enough. Let's move on. You talked about Roman Gonzalez, Brian Viloria, and open up your mic, Sean, because I'm going to go to you on this one. The fight is official. We talked about it two shows back, maybe 3 shows back. But now that the fight is official on the Triple G Lemieux undercard, your thoughts about it? I think, look, Viloria's old. I still say Viloria's old, and he's the clear underdog. But based on skill set alone, he can do some things in there that can give Chocolatito some problems. I don't think he will win, but he can give Chocolatito some problems. Speak on it, Sean.
People just, it's the same that always happens. People love to rip the opponents. Whether it's Floyd, whether it's GGG, people just want to rip holes into the opponents and discredit the fighter by making it look like his opponents are not worthwhile. Viloria is an American at a light weight. It's not an easy thing to find. So just having a pay-per-view to have an American Olympian on this card, it's a great thing. And it's great for Viloria, and he deserves this opportunity because, these guys have spent their whole life in obscurity and haven't got nearly as much press that other fighters have got. So it's great that finally he's getting this opportunity. And it's good for Roman because, this is going to be one guy who can speak English and can sell the fight. Roman, we know he's from Nicaragua and he doesn't speak English. So a lot of times guys suffer because of the lack of English language. So this is a great opportunity to push that fight as well because of that. The last person to beat Viloria was Estrada, who many people think beat Roman Gonzalez. And that fight wasn't a blowout. It was a competitive 12-round fight that Viloria lost. And prior to that fight, Viloria was doing really well, and he was a champion. He was dominating the division. After that fight, he moved up to a heavier weight, showing that maybe he felt like trying to lose all that weight to drain himself down. He felt he was stronger and better at the next weight up, which is where now Roman Gonzalez, who is from the weight below, is going to fight him at at this higher weight. So I think Viloria has a lot to bring to this fight. I mean, he's a skilled fighter. He has power. He's a veteran. And I mean, okay, fine. This is a fight to make Roman Gonzalez popular in America. He is a pound-for-pound fighter. But this is not a scrub he's fighting. You know, this is a competitive fight. If he dominates this guy, that's more of a comment on how great he is and what ability he has, as opposed to a rip on Viloria being old. I mean, you know, Viloria looked good against Estrada. He tired down in the end, and Estrada ended up getting the best of him and winning the belt. But Estrada is an elite fighter, the same as Roman Gonzalez. You know, and hopefully a win over Viloria will lead to a Estrada rematch, which everybody would love to see, especially on pay-per-view in the USA, on GGG Canelo undercard. Oh, yeah. But,
I will go to you. What you need? Mute your mic.
Hey, Mike, one minute, Michael. I just checked on box records. Like I said, Berto was born in America, Miami, Florida, USA, September 1983. I'm done.
Yep. Haitian descent.
Haitian descent.
Yeah, but he was arguing about where he was born. He was African American. That's what I said. He was born in America.
He's an African American.
Okay. Yeah, but America's full of immigrants. But he was born in America. That's what I have to say. Go ahead.
He's an African American. You're right.
Thank you. He's African American. Thank you. So
I stand corrected. But he still claims Haiti first. Let's just get that out the way.
Well, he got Haitian descent.
He got Haitian descent. He still claims Haiti first. Let's just put it that way. You're right. Well, I'm just going by how he defines himself. I'm going by how he defines himself.
The only reason he boxed in Haiti, because America, they had no place. They didn't give him he couldn't make the American trials, so he boxed for Haiti's in the Olympics. I was right. He was born in Miami, Florida. So I'm done. So there you go. African American. I'm done.
Okay, right. I said you stayed corrected. Go ahead. What you need?
I want to say, man.
Ask you this. The fact that, what do you think about the fact that Viloria is going to will be doing some sparring with Donnie Nietes? He's going to be in the camp with Viloria.
Oh yeah, baby.
He's going to be doing some sparring, the main sparring partner with Viloria. How do you think that will
aid
Viloria in this bout with Gonzalez?
Well, Nietes has a style something like Gonzalez, right? As everybody knows, he's a junior flyweight. And he got a style something like Gonzalez. Not really, because he got, to me, Nietes fights on the back foot. He can fight on the front foot. He can do a lot more, to me, than Roman Gonzalez can. Okay? That's just my opinion, right? And so that's a very highly skilled fighter who can be a pressure fighter, but he doesn't have tremendous power like Roman Gonzalez does. So that's a great sparring partner, I believe. Fantastic sparring partner. I'm very excited about this fight. I don't know. I'm a Brian Viloria fan, so so I'm excited about the fight a lot, man. I'm really excited. I think a lot of people are underestimating Brian Viloria's boxing skills, man. He is 34 or 35, but I really feel Brian Viloria is much better than Sosa. Okay, I think he's a lot better. Even though Sosa beat him when Sosa was, more in his better days. It was a close fight too, if people do remember. But I see it as a close fight, man. I actually could see Viloria beating Roman Gonzalez by turning him, boxing him, and turning him. And Viloria's got that power too. He got a little bit of power. So it's a very, very interesting fight. It's like one Francisco Estrada versus Roman Gonzalez. Let's see if Gonzalez has learned from that Estrada fight. That's what I want to know.
I'll go to you, Gail, then to you, boxing addict. Look, this bout would have been better if it had been on the West Coast, in StubHub maybe. But the fact that the bout is happening, that alone is exciting. Your thoughts, Gail, and then you can follow up, boxing addict.
Very good point made that while Viloria maybe isn't the most powerful opponent, he has the advantage of being able to speak English and help sell the fight. Chocolatito is still not that well known outside us complete fight freaks in the United States, and there is a huge Central American community in the New York City area. So it's very smart for K2 to add him on the undercard introduce him to that audience who was already going to be interested in the fight anyway, and build his fan base. I think that, yes, would it have gotten its natural constituency in Southern California? I mean, Chocolatito and Viloria could be the headliner, the main event in Southern California, but they'll do plenty fine on the undercard, and it's smart marketing. It will pay off for them in the long run. So it's they're just not making a false move here. This is a really well thought out card. The opponents are right for what they want to achieve. There is a lot of stepping stones going on to much bigger things, and it's just smart all the way around. This is this is exactly what promoters should do. We should support and applaud this all the way.
Since it's been a while that you've been on here, Boxing Addict and EJ, your thoughts on this bout?
It's a brilliant fight. It's a brilliant fight. Viloria obviously brings all the experience, doesn't he? And Viloria can hit hard himself, So I see it being a really interesting fight. I'm just a huge fan of Chocolatito as well, though. So I just think he's going to be too strong for him in the end. But it should be a good fight. I want to see Estrada back in there with Gonzalez as well at some point, hopefully. But this fight's brilliant, and it's another great fight on the card.
EJ and then Taisha.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. This is the first real test at the flyweight limit. I mean, Kira Agashi, he was a good, solid Japanese fighter, but he really never had that much power. And from then, Chocolatito has been eating munchkins on these guys. Not really. None of these guys are really tested. This is the first real legit test. HBO is not joking around. We're not giving you no easy touches. They gave him the Hawaiian punch. The Hawaiian punch has packing a punch. You see the fight with Herman Marquez, and he got Estrada beat him up bad. But this is the thing. He's been fighting a much higher caliber in this weight class in the flyweight than Chocolatito has, and this is the first test to see if Chocolatito is the real deal. He gonna get tested today. He gonna get tested for real. And the age of Hawaiian punch in that weight class, I mean, 34 years old. I mean, he might be, you know what I'm saying? He might be aging. But for me, I always go by the resume. And the resume at the flyweight, Viloria has a much better resume than Chocolatito does in the flyweight. Just in the flyweight of opponents, right? Because remember, Chocolatito won his belt in December, right? And Hawaiian Punch has been in this weight class for many years. So we will see if Hawaiian Punch has got one more punch left in him and see if Chocolatito is the real deal. So I expect a great fight. I was saying Hawaiian Punch for the upset to be controversial, but really and truly, I think Chocolatito should come through. But for boxing, you want Chocolatito to come through, but for the upset way, it wouldn't be bad for Chocolatito to lose against the Hawaiian Punch, It'll just be a learning curve. But so, because he's already a freeweight champion, equal with Lexus Arguello. So for me, I'm gonna go with Chocolatito for boxing.
I'll go to you on Taisha. I'll mute your mic. Since we discussed about the possibility of this fight happening, have you had any time to do some research of Viloria and Ramon Gonzalez? And if so, your thoughts? Unmute your mic, Taisha.
I have not. Only thing that's I know, I don't even know who Brian Viloria is, to be honest. But I've watched a few fights of Roman Gonzalez, and I'm excited to see him fight again. Watching the fights of his that I have watched, but as far as who he's fighting, whether he's better than him or not, or if the other guy's better, I have no clue. So.
Yep. All right.
You just add me on Twitter, man. I'll send you a playlist, man. Michael was the one who hooked me up. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna hook you up with the flyweight division. You're gonna see the caliber of opponents. So I'll hook you up with the flyweight so you can kind of see the caliber of opponent. But I can tell you this. Hawaiian Punch, for everyone on the panel, this is a legit test for Chocolatito. And I'll give you a playlist on Chocolatito for that as well. If you've got time to.
I'll take y'all's word for it. I'll take y'all's word for it.
All right, cool.
Again, like I said in the beginning of the show, since this month has really been dry, nothing really happening really throughout the month until the very end with Mars and Santa Cruz on the 29th. Nothing's been happening, and because of that, I wanted to try like a little analysis so far of 2015. So I'm going to go across the panel here and actually kind of combine a question for a couple of folks here on the panel and go through like our thoughts of like fight of the year, and other issues in boxing in 2015. I'm gonna go to you. Sean, and then you, Gail. Uh, your thoughts on the fight of the year. Who do you have so far as of August right now? This is August 13th as we're doing the live show on YouTube. Who do you have right now as your fight of the year so far in 2015?
Are you underwhelmed?
Well, I wasn't prepared for the question, so I'm not even too sure who my candidates are at this point. As far as fighter of the year, I mean, we still have quite a bit of things to do to finish the year. But I mean, I guess we'd have to give fighter of the year to Floyd because he beat Manny, who was
Fight of the year, not fighter. Fight of the
well,
year.
I'm just saying fighter of the year. I think it probably is Floyd. Fight of the year. There's been lots of small fights. You know, the Sammy Vasquez, the African guy, Ometoso. It was a great fight and back and forth and bloody and a real great fight to watch, especially for people that want to watch good fights but don't really know those two guys. I mean, neither one of them is really a highly ranked fighter at this point. Sammy Vasquez was an Olympian and he's moving up. He's ranked higher than Spence, but he doesn't get the push that Spence gets by Floyd, so people don't really know who he is. But that was a great fight. And, I mean, he's already signed to have another fight, like, within the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, I mean, he's staying busy, that guy. So I would have to say that fight and probably Floyd for fighter of the year.
Gail?
You know, I bet that you'll get some people saying it was Matisse and Provodnikov, but I will disagree, and I'm just bracing myself for impact here. I would have to say it's Lemieux and Undam.
You stole my thunder, Gail.
Great minds think alike, baby. Yeah, that was an interesting evening. There were 3 very good cards that night. You had the PBC card with both Thurman and Porter in fights. You had, trying to think of what the other big one was, and then you had Lemieux and Ndam, which was on Fox Sports 2, was only seen by 147,000 households in the United States. I mean, a drop in the bucket. Absolutely an amazing fight. Really action-packed, everything you want to see from 2 guys just not wanting to quit. So that's mine. So far, anyway.
Your fighter of the year.
You know, and that one is tougher to me. For his own personal impact, and I'm kind of curious where it's going to go. Well, I'm gonna say this and hedge a little, depending on what happens. If he wins in November, it'll be Canelo. If he wins, because his victory over Kirkland was very impressive. That would not alone have me give him fighter of the year. You could make a good case for Floyd. You could make a good case for someone way off on the fringe. You could make a case for James DeGale, for that matter. That one is not clear cut to me. I think our fighter of the year will be chosen in the second half of the year.
All right. Taisha, what you need, unmute your mics. Your choice for fight of the year and fighter of the year. Taisha, what you need, unmute your mics.
I'll let what you need go first.
Are you around? What you need?
Oh yeah. Just unmute my mic. That's a tough one because there was a lot of great fights. We have that just recently there. Juan Carlos Payano versus Rashid Warren. That was a crazy fight, man. You know what I mean? So you had a lot of fights. So I'm really thinking hard. Let me see. There was one on HBO that just stands out. But there's several, man. Let me see here.
Are you talking the Matisse bout or
Not the
something
Matisse.
else?
Not the Matisse. I forgot, man. The undercard of Sergey Kovalev versus Najib Mohammadi, man. Jean
Yeah.
Pascal versus
Pascal and
Yunieski
Gonzalez.
Pascal,
Gonzalez,
that's a
man.
legit.
That
That's
was
a
a
legit.
crazy, crazy fight, man. That was a
Yeah,
crazy fight.
that was a good fight.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah, that was a good fight for real. Yeah, that was.
man, and then you had, well, they already talked about James DeGale versus Andre Durrell. That was a crazy fight, man. 2 knockdowns.
Good
Durrell
fight.
trying to come back. DeGale just, it was great. I mean, so you had a number of really good ones. I don't know. Maybe I would take Pascal versus Gonzalez because I thought Gonzalez won. The controversy and everything, and Gonzalez crying at the end of the fight and all of that was the drama. It was good stuff, man.
Taisha, your thoughts on and fighter of the year?
Um, I chose Orlando Salido versus Rocky Martinez.
Hell of a fight.
That was the fight this year
Freaking war.
that made me. I've watched that fight several times again on YouTube when I need a midweek fix. That's the fight that I go to. But when I look at nominated a fight for fight of the year, I look for several things. One, if it's a fucking all-out war. Two, the matchup. And three, how many times I yell woo. Now,
Yeah, I hear that. Blows your mind. Yeah, I hear that.
I promise you, I promise you I had to have said woo at least a good 30 times in that fight because I don't understand how a person can be a boxing fan and not fucking adore or Salido. That man just comes in and he comes to fucking box no matter who he's in the ring with. Yes, he does some little dirty stuff sometimes, but that's just a veteran. That's veteran movements and shit. But that fight right there, even though Martinez put him down twice and he had a point taken away, he was still bringing the fight to that boy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
He didn't give up. He didn't stop. It was just coming forward. Get put on my ass. Coming forward. Put on my ass. Point taken away. And then like the last like two or three rounds, I gave the latter half of the fight to Salido to begin with. It was like he mentally took that boy out of his game. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what he does. And for me, that was the fight of the year. Fighter of the year, I don't have anybody because to me, I don't really see anybody that was I don't want to say worthy of it or whatever. I would say I have a most improved fighter. I like Emmanuel Lee. I mean, I talked highly of him the last time I was here, and from fight to fight, I see the young man fix things that he did wrong previous fights. So he's continuing to better himself, and I can see that he's only going to get better. And I'm excited every time I hear his name pop up for a fight because I know I'm in for a treat, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, young
I'm,
master.
I'm gonna surprise y'all with my fight of the year, but I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna go to you, Boxing Addict, and EJ. Your thoughts, your views of fight and fighter of the year so far for 2015.
Okay, I'll go. I think everybody's mentioned quite a few of the good ones actually. That Pascal fight was brilliant. Durrell fight was good, and Lemieux and Ndan. Mitchell versus Linares was.
Oh, why do you do that for, man?
Why, man? Go ahead.
I knew somebody was gonna pick that. That's why I chose my other one.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
That's not my fight though. My fight is going to be. You'll love this. Areola versus Harper.
That was a good fight. That was
a damn good fight.
Miguel was at that fight.
I was at that fight. Yeah, I was there. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's right. It was awesome. And for my fighter of the year, I'm going to go for Lee Selby.
Okay.
Because Lee beat a sort of, a world champion who was quite sort of, five title defences. Gradovic came over here. Everyone thought he'd win, and Lee Selby totally outboxed him and got the world title. So I'll go with Lee on that one.
Good pick. That's a good pick.
Go ahead, EJ, because Boxing Ad just stole one of my choices. Damn it.
My fighter of the year is Chavez Jr. Just so you guys know.
You know what?
Oh my God!
You know what? I'm glad she muted herself because I was going to mute her. I'm glad she did the smart thing and mute herself after she said that.
Thank you.
Go ahead, EJ. Go ahead.
I was at the Kevin Mitchell and the Linares match, man. So I was covering the fight. I was covering all interviews the whole week, and and I got my ticket to get into the building. And I tell you what, man, I was there with the whole. I don't know Kevin Mitchell, because I know you guys watch soccer. He got the West Ham. It looked like he had everyone who watches like the game was in there. They're singing "I'm Forever Blowing Bowls." We was caught up in the atmosphere. But I knew Linares was gonna win. I already picked Linares, but I swear, Kevin Mitchell, because of that fight there was epic, bro. Yeah, jaw dropping, one of the best fights I've ever seen. I mean, I was there watching it, and Kevin Mitchell's face, Linares getting knocked down. That was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. And then, you know what? I can go for two. Floyd for me will be fight of the year. But Tanisha said, yeah, improving fight. I'll go Jamie McDonald, who beat Kamida. Listen,
Nice.
That was a good fight too.
Jamie McDonald had no fripping chance. I interviewed that mad dog when he won his title in Wembley. Just before it, and I'll tell you what, that's something about that dude, yeah. He's just a hard, tough dude. He's just a hard guy. I swear, when he went down, I actually put money on it, and I couldn't believe it. I put money because I couldn't believe how much that he was a champion, and because Kamida gave up his belt, that the odds was the sole favourite of Kamida. They thought he was gonna win. Came off the floor, come up and beat up. Listen, that guy most improved, and I can argue with you. You can even put him in there, and he's gonna fight him again. He's a favourite. He's probably gonna beat him again. But that guy right there is the one. And also, right, I know I'll go free Andy Joshua. I'm just putting out there. Andy Joshua is gonna blow up. You guys are gonna hear about him next year. But Andy Joshua, for real, up and coming star, and Jamie McDonald definitely guy you need to watch out for. And Floyd Mayweather fight of the year. So I'm done. That's it.
I'm gonna go ahead and give my.
And Joshua was hot too. Just throwing that out there.
You know what? Not here.
All women say that.
No eye candy stuff here.
Hey, women go crazy over that dude. You know that?
Yeah. I know.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. Yeah, the ladies like that dude a lot.
He's not wrong.
A lot.
He's not wrong.
It's just crazy. It's a magnet. It's a magnet.
The ladies love that dude. I have to, but not too much men eye candy here, cause nah. But EJ boxing, they stole my choice here as fight of the year. And I'm a little bit surprised. Unmute your mic, what you need. I'm a little bit surprised you didn't go with this fight, Linares and Mitchell, given how geeked and pumped up you were talking about the fight, what you need. To EJ's point, you want to talk about that fight had a perfect combination of high level of skill, back and forth action, violence, momentum swings back and forth, knockdowns, fighters cut, fighters hurt. To me, I know people will talk. Some folks will talk Canelo and Kirkland. Some folks will talk Martinez and Salido. We'll be fighting a rematch, by the way, on the undercard of Mayweather's bout with Berto. They're gonna fight on the undercard rematch there. But for me, Linares, Kevin Mitchell, that had it all. Close to as perfect of everything you want to see in a boxing match, whether you are hardcore enthusiast, whether you're a boxing geek like we are or not. That fight, to EJ's point, have it all. So I have to go with him on that one. I agree with you 100%, brother. I'm with you on that one. Fight of the year, that's tough. Again, I might have to go with EJ and just say Floyd, just because of the magnitude of the Pacquiao bout. Look, I said it all along that Floyd would beat Pacquiao. I just didn't see Pacquiao winning because of the hype, because of the hoopla. And because, let's face it, Floyd beat him so easily. I'm going with Floyd here. So right now, so far, love him or hate him, I'm going with Floyd Mayweather as fighter of the year so far in 2015. I'm asked. This is going to be an open question to everybody. With 2015 came PBC by Al Haymon. So far, you're right. What you need in the chat room, Alejandro Gonzalez and Carl Frampton. That's a good runner-up. That's a very good runner-up. Very good fight that took place. Surprised by Gonzalez, but Frampton, I think he showed himself well in that bout, despite getting knocked out. I think he showed his class at the very end. And Quigg, I know everybody's talking about Quigg. Based on his performance, how he would beat Frampton. You better take a second look at that. Frampton can beat this dude, no doubt about it. But back to the PBC question. This is open for everybody. With 2015 came PBC all over the place. Mainstream television, cable television, every damn where. Anybody can chime in. Your thoughts on PBC so far, the impact of PBC, and what do you see moving forward for PBC? Can it survive?
They got Fox. They got Fox right now. They've just bought Fox, man. They've took over everything. Fox, ESPN, everything. They took over everything, boy. So it's looking good for me that I think like Al Haymon with his 1,000 roster, you're gonna get more fights. I'm really looking forward to this fight coming up because I know both the guys. There's Joshua Lushikun who fought Lucas Matisse when Joshua Lushikun was trying to chase after Danny Garcia for I think it was like 3 years. They had him mentoring. He's fighting against the henchman Linda Rose. Henchman Linda Rose used to be formerly of Floyd Mayweather Senior. I'm really looking forward to that. And he's gonna match all these fighters hard, man, and let them go. Adrian Broner's gonna be fighting for the 140 belts, trying to get his fourth world to be a four-world division. So I think it's looking good. Whether the fights are competitive, that's another thing. But I like the matchups, man. I like the matchups. The fights ain't living. Some of the fights ain't living up to that. So, James DeGale came over and done something and beat the realm. No one thought he was going to do that, so that's good over in the UK. But I really do like the PBC card. And Al Haymon's brought another UK fighter. So he's got James DeGale. He's got Frampton. I think he's got thing in it. He just got Selby as well, right? He got Selby. So we're gonna look into. So now we're looking Selby versus Russell, Gary Russell Jr. I'm telling you, man, things are looking good. I'm happy, Fox. I'm happy. We're just gonna get fights, hopefully, and that's what I can say. I'm done.
Anybody else thoughts on PBC so far, the impact and the future? Anybody can chime in. Unmute your mic, everybody.
I think it started out. I think it has good intentions on putting, boxing back on, regular TV, so to say. I think it started out weak with the matchups, and I kind of expected that. But I think as it progresses, it's going to turn into something really good. Like, for me, and my husband told me I should use this as an example. I'm going to the Tarver versus Cunningham fight tomorrow, right? And not many fights show up here at the Prudential Center where I can go to it. And this is just an example of Al Haymon putting more fights out there. Other venues are able to pick them up, and you're seeing more people go to these fights. Like, the last one I went to was May 8th. I can't remember who it was. The kid was from New Jersey, but I can't remember his name right now. He was supposed to win, got knocked out.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he's always on. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. But anyways, that was my first fight ever, right? So now here it is. Then the same year, I'm able to go to another fight. And if you look at the Prudential events thing, there's a couple other fights hosted by PBC that's going to be there. So I love it. All I like to watch on TV is boxing and anime. So you're putting boxing on my TV more than I've had in the past, few years. I'm all for it. You understand what I'm saying? People just love to hate miserably for no fucking reason. This is a good thing, or it can be a good thing. Give it a fucking chance. And I'm done.
The mic is open for everybody.
You know what I like about the what's happening with Heyman and PBC being so aggressive is it's forced the other promoters to be at the top of their game. They can't be lazy, and it has also forced some of them to work together who haven't been working together so well. So that alone, PBC aside, the product aside, it's improved its competitors, and that's always good in a competitive environment.
That is true.
We are a capitalist system here, after all, and boxing is a sport, but it is also about making money. Now, Heyman can bleed money for a while. He's got plenty, and when you start a venture like this, you have to go in with the understanding you're going to bleed off some of your capital, until you get established.
Yeah, it's the old saying, you got to spend some to make some.
Absolutely right. They're going to learn. They've learned. They're already learning. From the very first few televised bouts, they've lost some of the more, strange, or what I think of as sort of antiseptic, aspects. I wish they'd reinstate the ring walk. We wish they'd reinstate the ring girls. And if you're at a PBC fight without the ring card girls, all of us in the media section are looking at each other saying, you know what round it is? I mean, we lose track. I mean, it really sounds stupid. I know it does, but we do. So they're learning. The problem is they can't take the fight fans' attention and gratitude at getting free boxing. They can't ride on that much longer, because people are going to demand better contests.
Better fights. But aren't they starting to do that? Like, I think the Santa Cruz Mars fight is a great matchup.
That's going to be the big test for me. I'm looking forward to going up to see that card, to see who shows up. It's kind of interesting because, across town the same night you have this, weird pay-per-view rematch between Mayorga and Mosley.
Why?
I can't even figure that one out. I know, it's stupid. I just had somebody say, hey, I can hook you up with a press pass, and I said, yeah, no thanks.
Why?
I'm busy.
That's a good matchup, man.
Stop.
Right. Oh,
Stop.
You're kidding.
I don't know who that was that just said that, but I'm one of the weird ones who's interested in seeing it. I'm interested in seeing it.
Both of you?
You worthy right there.
Really? I'm pretending I didn't
Now,
hear.
do I think it should be on pay-per-view? No, I don't think. Now, you want to talk about something that shouldn't be on pay-per-view? That shouldn't be on pay-per-view. Am I interested in seeing Shane Mosley and Mayorga fight again? Yes, indeed.
I like the build-up too. All the trash talk and stuff. Yeah, hell.
Girls, right, man. It's not competitive, man. They out of their primes. It's just gonna be a bloody. It's gonna be
a fucking mess. You just know it's gonna be a mess. Oh, I just don't even want
I think Mosley.
I mean, you can say the same for Tarver. Why is Tarver still fighting? What the heck is he doing in the ring?
Now, Tarver's legit, though. Tarver's legit, though. He knocked out Jonathan Banks.
Oh, please.
That was
Wait. How is Tarver, and don't get defensive, how is Tarver legit?
Just like he knocked out Jonathan Banks. Jonathan Banks never been knocked out before. He never been knocked out like that before. Jonathan Banks was on Jonathan Banks. So you asked me a question, I'm just telling you. So the winner out of this guy is gonna get a fight out of Deontay Wilder, and that's what it is. Like that's what it is. Tarver's talked his way up. Yeah, he wanted to fight David Hay. He wants to fight Klitschko.
I want to see Lucas Big Daddy Brown fight Wilder. That's who I want to see, Wilder.
Come on, man. Lucas ain't doing no way, man. Lucas ain't doing nothing with that tartar.
You know we all want to see Chris Arreola fight Deontay Wilder.
Oh, my God. Womp, womp, womp.
No.
Yeah, but Shane Mosley thing is just a freak circus. They shouldn't be fighting each other. That's all that is. Mayorga's out here, and Mosley trying to get money, get money back from his wife, or just trying to get money to get pay-per-view. Which, like, if you like Mosley, you want to give him some change, then why not? But that shouldn't be pay-per-view. So go ahead, Greg. I
Yeah,
interrupt.
I don't think it should be pay-per-view at all. I'm not paying $50 for it. That's why I draw the motherfucking line.
No, I'm not
I
paying
ain't
for it.
paying for that shit. Now,
I'm not even driving
somebody
across
stream that
town.
shit on the internet for me, I'll watch it. But other than that, I hear about it on Twitter because I ain't giving up my money for that.
Well, of everyone I know going and having a choice, I don't think many are choosing to go to that fight. I think everyone is going to be over at Staples Center watching the PBC card. And back to the point, that's the kind of stuff that we need to start seeing PBC do. They need to start risking their more skilled fighters against each other. And I'm going to give them some, let's give them some time. I'm willing to be patient to see who they continue to match up. But if they don't get on with it, I am going to get impatient. And the fans
Oh, of course.
yeah. Not. It's got to be real matchups, or we're all going to walk, free or not.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's true. Because free is not always better. But I'm really digging that Santa Cruz Mars fight with
Yep.
them.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, that should be a good fight. Winner fights. Winner fights Frampton. Winner should fight Frampton. So I hope.
I'd be great with that. And
I would be perfectly fine with that because, like I said, the last time I was here, I don't know too much about your UK fighters. Sadly, I wish I did. I wish I can watch more fights of them over here. But I saw Frampton the first time when he fought
Gonzalez Jr.
Oh my God, that was a great fight. I didn't know who Gonzalez Jr. was. I didn't know who Frampton. I knew who Frampton was by name, not by seeing him fight. So I can now say I know who both of these cats are, and I want to see them both again in the ring.
Yep.
I am now a fan.
Al Heyman's going to put Frampton. He didn't bring Frampton over for nothing. But whether that fight's going to be an island or whether it's going to be, I'd really like the PBC to go abroad. That going to another territory over in the UK. I mean, he's got UK fighters now, so why not? But the winner out of that fight there, hopefully, Al Heyman puts them against.
I want to see one of them boys fight Rigondeaux too. I know I said this the last time. I don't understand why Rigondeaux's being heavily avoided by these young cats at that weight class, but it needs to happen.
Because they know they lose. Let me get my opinion on PBC.
Sure.
I think that with PBC, I love the concept. I love the fact that boxing is all over. I'm a little worried about oversaturation, but the key for me is how, and I've said this before, and I'm gonna continue to say it, particularly here in the States. How will they survive going into the football season, American football season, college and NFL, if they can still hold reasonable numbers there from early September on to the first week in February when the Super Bowl happens? If they can continue to sustain solid numbers, it's good to go. It's good to go. If not, it may be in a little bit of trouble. But the key is surviving that period, fall, winter, early winter, and providing better quality fights. They do that, then moving forward, I really see a bright future for PBC on NBC. That's just my opinion. And I want to thank Sean and Boxing Addict. They had to dip out. So anybody want to piggyback about that? Your thoughts on this, what you need on PBC?
Well, my thoughts are this. I think PVC has changed the game a lot. I mean, the magnitude of good quality boxing fights we've gotten since PVC has come. You're talking about 4 cards, sometimes 3 cards, extra cards, in addition to Showtime and HBO cards, And you remember on normal regular network television, we had like Friday night fights and we had Fox Sports, right? We had the not well-known fighters and not well-known bouts. Now we've had high-caliber bouts for free. You're talking Keith Thurman versus Robert Guerrero. You're talking James DeGale. You're talking Anthony Durrell versus Badou Jack. You have Badou Jack versus Groves and Badou Jack. They're not going to be on free TV this time. But my point being anyway that definitely I think that the premier boxing champions has made a profound effect on network television. I think this is what everybody wanted to happen, so that a lot more people are. I know a lot of more people are now involved in boxing who weren't involved in boxing before. We are the hardcore guys, but new people are going to boxing gyms. They're doing workouts and stuff and all of that stuff. So I think it has a very positive effect in that respect. Now, as to True TV and De La Hoya Television and all of these other networks that have all these other available outlets that have been opened up, including premier boxing channels like HBO and Showtime, I think this is a great thing for them too, because this is, as I said before, I think this is like a feeder program. As you can see with Showtime, look, Groves versus DeGale, they're on Showtime now. You would have thought that they would have been on Premier Boxing Champions. No, that's a feeder to Showtime. Or sometimes, you know, it may be a feeder to HBO. So when you make these champions, when you make these people come to the fore, you do a couple what we call showcase fights, and then you do a real fight, and then the magnitude of this fighter is built up enough, you send them off to the Premier Boxing networks, and you do pay-per-view. So this is a beautiful way, a beautiful funnel to get pay-per-view done. At the same time, it sort of gets other promoters to kind of up their game, as well as get involved in Premier Boxing Champions, because, you know, we got a whole bunch of promoters in there, and I won't be surprised if I see Golden Boy or Top Rank, even though they're having lawsuits with Al Heyman and the people, you know, they put aside all that and still get their fighters in there. And sometimes you see fighters from PBC on Showtime, or you see them on HBO or whatever. So I'm just saying that this is the potential to be something that really could be big. You know, I was listening to Steve Cunningham and Boom Boom Mancini talk about it. That Boom Boom Mancini was saying on Undisputed Champions, he was saying that that this bringing back boxing to network television kind of reminds him of a return somewhat in some way to the 80s and the 90s, the era where people used to watch boxing all the time. So I think this is a beautiful thing. I think it's going to gain momentum in time. I think it's already gained momentum. I think the quality of fights are very high, in my opinion, but other people may have different opinions. I think they're gearing up and they're ramping it up as much as possible. But everything has to be built up. You have to build up fighters. People don't know them, so you have to showcase them first, and then, you know, then you start to match them tough. You can't just match them tough all the time immediately, some of them. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I hope that like guys like SMS Promotions, who's kind of, I think they're out of the business, I hope they return as well as Iron Mike Tyson Promotions. I hope they stick around, because the more players we have, is the more boxing we're going to get. And all I care about is getting more boxing and being able to talk about boxing. I love boxing, so that's my thing.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. BBC, man, that's what's popping, man. Fox, ESPN, and everything else, man.
I mean, they're putting boxing on channels that I ain't never heard of before. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't even know I had Bounce TV until Rashid Warren was fighting on it. I found it.
That's the truth.
I mean, God damn it, it's on Bounce and BET.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I haven't watched BET. I don't even watch the BET Awards anymore. But I damn sure tuned in to watch Andre Ward fight that day, didn't I? I didn't know I had Bounce TV until last night, or a couple last week.
The only thing Bounce TV is good for is watching old blaxploitation films on a Saturday night.
Well, and now boxing.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Boxing say, hey, boxing, hey, man. All the hard work of us watching all boxing over here, late nights. That's the good thing about PBC. They're showing fights on either over in the UK that we can watch them. We don't have to wait up late in the night or thing. You know, and another thing as well with the PBC.
Exactly.
They've got
and that shit's weird for us though.
Yeah, they got a PBC channel that even if you miss some of the fights, you go to YouTube, go PBC. See, Al Heyman ain't making us into crooks when we have to live stream. You know, we're doing stuff against the law or whatever. No, you can. YouTube
is always going to be live.
You know what I'm saying? You go to YouTube and you can watch the fights. Either I think they upload them probably like a month after or whatever, and good quality, everything. And I don't even ain't give you no trouble, no strikes on your YouTube channel. Now it's a great. I'm telling you, man, it's really good. And anyone hating on the thing about they're losing money, don't worry about that stuff. If it fails, we'll just go somewhere else. But right now,
I'm not staying up late at night worrying about Al Heyman losing money.
nah,
Oh, me either. He ain't putting no money in my pocket. I don't give a fuck about what his money he losing.
I don't understand why stuff is talking with everyone. Everyone's talking about, oh, he's losing money and this, that. And I was like, what are you talking about? Before this, what was going on? ESPN used to show only up-and-coming fights. Now they have over there Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, name fighters on ESPN. And everyone's getting name fighters with some up-and-coming guys like the young Joe Gans, whatever, Don King's little fighter. He's good.
Aaron Spence.
Yeah, all these Errol Spence, you got all these other, and you're right about the fight on Sunday. That's nothing about PBC. They showed fights on Sunday, Saturday, and then they showed like Rashid Warren on a Sunday. And I was like, damn, they really did give. You know what I'm saying? It's like they give us like a buffet. They give us extra food. They give us extra fights. So it's real good, man. It was real good.
EJ, what people fail to understand is that PBC had people up on a fucking Sunday watching boxing. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care what you gotta say. When is the last time someone tuned in on a Sunday to watch boxing?
Sunday night.
Exactly. Before the work week. You understand what I'm saying? They got numbers that night. It wasn't just like some pity-pat numbers. They got a good, decent amount of people on a Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? To watch this.
On Bounce TV.
On Bounce TV. Thank you.
It was a good fight as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Al Heyman doing what he's doing with his business partners. He's got the Rothschilds supporting him, whatever. Whoever's putting money in their pocket. Man, let them do their thing. As long as we get in fights, and I'm good. I'm good.
Quickly.
You know what they need to do right now? They need to start. They need to start putting some women fights though, because I want to see.
Exactly.
I want to see Honey Gable.
And hold on, not just women fighters, because the only woman fighter that they're putting on there is that Heather chick, which I'm not saying anything about her. I like her, but there are other female fighters that can be on them cards too, not just her.
They need to put. I know the heavy hitters in the women's divisions. I'm telling you, they have some real.
They need to put Ava Knight up on that shit. That's what I want to see get in there.
She's too busy doing like bodybuilding. I don't know if she can come back to the game. They need to put Mariana Suarez out there. She's big in Mexico. They need to put her out there and some of her fights out there. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that rematch between the two of them. Man, like they said, they should put some women fights out there and start the sport. Man, that's the next step for me. That's what I was saying. So
I think the next step will be when we see our female Olympic boxers led by Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa.
And I think she'll break through because she's going to do one more Olympics, and then we'll see what happens with her.
I can't wait.
Nicola Adams over here in the UK. Hopefully, I don't know if she's going to turn pro or something like that. Hopefully, but she cleans up on everything. She's our first gold medalist. Hopefully she'll do something over here.
I think Mike trying to shut us down.
No, just a couple more questions before we get out because this is a really long show.
So off track.
What fights? I'm gonna combine two questions into one here. Prospect of the year so far, and what fights? We talked about Canelo and Cotto. We talked about Triple G Lemieux. Prospect of the year, and what other fights are you really looking forward to as 2015 goes on?
Anthony Joshua, prospect of the year, man. It's just it. Yeah. Other fights I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I can't really. I'm getting everything I need out right now. I'm pretty good. So
I want to see
Rigondeaux versus Quiggle Frampton, or Quiggle Frampton versus Rigondeaux, or Amir Khan versus Kelbrook. That's it. I'm good.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a fantasy fight, though. I think he means of the fights that are already scheduled for this year. Which ones are you looking forward to that's already scheduled?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go down my list now. I'll come back to that. You go ahead.
Okay. I'm looking forward to Matisse Postal, however you pronounce the dude's name. I'm looking forward to that. But the biggest fight, we all know that I'm ready to see Lemieux GGG. That's the biggest fight for me. Everyone's like, no, Cotto this, Cotto that. Cotto drugged this out so much, the fight between him and Canelo, that I kind of lost interest in it. I'm happy as a fan that it's happening, but my kudos are all in for fucking GGG and Lemieux.
Let me give mine right quick. Postal Matisse, I agree with Taish on that because I think Postal is going to beat him. Santa Cruz Mars, I think that's going to be a very good fight.
Yep.
Klitschko Fury.
Yep.
Underrated fight is the Charlo brothers. I think Jamel is going to be fighting Brundage in September, I believe it is. That's going to be a pretty good fight as well.
Wait, pause.
So
How is a Bundridge fight against the Charlo twin is a good fight? Explain that one to me.
Brundage is better than people give him credit for,
Okay.
and I think the Charlo brothers are a little bit overrated.
Okay.
Don't be surprised if Brundage beat.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if
No.
Brundage wins.
You're taking my question the wrong way. I don't know who Bundridge is, so that's what I'm saying. All I hear is negative about him. That's why I'm asking you your opinion.
Man. Kayman Bundles is nice, man.
Yeah. I will say this, Taisha. Watch a few of his fights. He has some flaws, obviously, but if you see him, he does some really good things in there from a technical standpoint that's really underrated. And I think it's Jamel, I believe it is. I think both Charlo brothers, I'll put them in the same box. I thought a lot of them early on, but the more I see them, the more I think to myself, they're not as good as they're being hyped to be. So
I mean, who have they fought though? Give me someone nice that they fought.
that's the point. The Charlo brothers, they hadn't fought anybody as good as Brundage, but the Charlo, they got him coming in as the favorite against Brundage. I think Brundage will beat him.
He old, man. That's because he's old. Bundage is always the underdog, and Bundage surprised everyone. Remember, he's a Manuel Stewart trained fighter, man. He's from Detroit, man. He ain't gonna lose to this dude. He's young.
I hear you.
It's Will Salido and Rocky Martinez. That's the last fight.
Ooh.
That's
Man, you just
Mayweather.
take
You already know I'm
Right,
psyched for that.
so-
You already know I'm stoked
Come
for that
on,
one.
man.
Go ahead. What you
I
need?
got
Go
one.
ahead,
What you guys say before I say it. Battle Jack versus George Groves. I want to see that one too. So there you go. You took all my fights, man.
No,
Okay.
I will say ditto with Triple G at the top of the list. But my prospect of the year is on that same card, Amir Iman. And,
Thank you.
I've been very,
Thank you.
very impressed with him, and looking forward to seeing him in person again.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky you.
Hey.
I didn't hear your prospect of the year. What you
Amir
mean?
Iman.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
Amir?
what you mean? My
Mine
bad.
was Amir Iman.
What you
I
mean?
did-
I also want to see Alvarez versus Prieto. Elito Alvarez versus Prieto. They're both undefeated fighters.
I didn't hear. I didn't even think about that. I didn't hear your prospect of the year so far.
Who's that? Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know who it is, man. It's a light heavyweight dude. He's the
Chavez?
dude that no, light heavyweight. Light heavyweight dude.
Not me. No, not me. Okay.
The guy. I'm just saying. I think you guys know who it is. He was supposed to. They were saying match him up with Sergey Kovalev.
Bertabiet.
Yes, sir.
Bird of beef.
My boy.
But yeah,
That's my boy.
Bev is nice though. He's
That's
nice.
my boy.
Hey man, man, all the fights have been happening. I'm just gonna say, Fran Viloria versus Chocolito, man. That's how I'm gonna go with, man. I'm
All good.
Let me bring something to light from last week. Did you guys watch the fights last week that was on TV by
Yeah.
any chance?
Yeah.
The kid, his name was Regis Progis. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he fought the Puerto Rican kid whose last name was
Yeah.
you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. The guy Tito Trinidad coach's father who coached him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now
The
I
long
had
tall
never
guy.
heard of that kid
he got
until that
skills.
fight right there, and I would love to see more of him. I don't understand where are these guys coming from, and why aren't they being presented to us on even on like more Showbox or whatever.
Fruits, vegetables, and plants are you allowed to bring to the U.S. mainland?
Oh wow.
I don't know who that was.
I don't either.
But yeah.
Go ahead.
That fight, and there was another fight on the same card that was really good too. But damn, I lost my train of thought.
You wondering why they don't feature these kids more?
Yes, yeah, like why aren't they like on other like I don't want to say bigger undercards, but why aren't like he's had like what 17 fights already?
Yep.
And I've never seen him on a showbox before, or on any of the the ESPNs or anything like that. It's weird. Like, why aren't these kids being put out there? He can fight. Like, I don't know if he's in the same weight class as Spence Jr., but hello, that'd probably be a banging ass fight.
I think he's a lightweight, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the weights are. Now, I'll tell you that off back. I don't keep up with the weights. It's too many weights and alphabets. It's not my thing. It's too many of both. But I think these kids need to be put out there more, because there's a lot out there that we're not seeing.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, some fights are televised, some are not. You know, as you come up as a prospect, right? You know, you face higher and higher level of competition. So at a certain point, when the competition's a certain level, you get and your record's really good, you get televised. That's how it works. It also works with a promoter too. But
Right, but he's like 17-0 though. I mean, how much more do you need out of him?
Well, it depends on the level of competition. Because I think the guy he fought wasn't nobody really.
They were both undefeated.
Oh, what? Nah, then I don't know what fight.
And I think the other kid was a DeBella fighter, because that's man, I can't recall his name right now, man.
Hey, we got Mike Seals. I don't know if you guys know about Mike Seals. Yeah, he's a light heavyweight. He's making his debut on the Stephen Cunningham and the Tarver fight. He invited him. I've been talking to this kid for a long time, boy.
What's his name?
Mike Seals. He's coached by Rob Allen. Rob Allen was the one who fought Bernal Hopkins back in the days when he dived out the ring. He got Bernal Hopkins 3 times. So like, you gotta look out for this guy. Mike Seals finally got he fought. He's been like what you was talking. He fought on club shows. He beat someone like what's the guy? He beat Joe Calzaghe guy. He beat a former super middleweight champion. But anyway, Mike Canahan Stills. You're gonna see him tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Today's Friday, right? It's Friday.
Yeah, it's tonight. Yeah.
Hopefully his fight will be televised and you guys get to see it.
I'm gonna see it regardless, because I'm gonna be there.
You gonna be there? Yeah. You gonna see Mike Seals, man. Mike Seals, watch out. Mike Seals is nice, bro. I'm gonna try to get an interview with him as well.
Before we shut things down, EJ, what's the update on the flyweight you were telling me about months back?
Which flyweight?
Patel.
Oh, Prince Patel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Prince Patel signed with Frank Warren. He left his trainer. He's going through his trainer's left him because like the arguments and stuff like that. He ain't really, I don't know what's going on with him right now, but Frank Warren signed him. Nothing really's happened with him. And to be honest with you, a lot of people think he's overrated, but he's definitely caused up a lot of storm. He's got a big mouth. They call him, because like Prince Nassim Hamid, but he ain't not really nothing like him. But he ain't really doing nothing right now. There's nothing going on. He should have been more active, but because he signed with Frank Warren, it's just not really happening. So, and because he doesn't really get along with people, so he's not really getting the fights he really earned. He should have been televised. You should have seen more fights of him. So there's nothing really happening with him. So that's the news on him. So he ain't really. There's nothing really going on. But if there is, I will blatantly pass it over to you to check him out. Prince Patel, one to watch out for. But Mike, check him out though. Mike Canahan Seals. That's Mike Seals. That's the one.
Hey Mike, I got a question for you before you wrap up. I've been seeing a lot of flack for Adrian Broner versus
that guy, the Russian dude.
Yeah, that dude. They're both coming off a loss, fighting for a vacant belt.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
Man, basically.
No, not the fight itself. No, that's not what I mean. Not the fight itself. The people are complaining that Adrian Broner's getting a shot at some type of a belt after coming off a loss. But no one's mentioning that the dude that he's fighting is also coming off of a loss.
Still, man, it doesn't bother me regardless. I mean, it is what it is.
What?
Man, they hating Adrian Broner, man.
Well, first of all,
Adrian Broner's an ass clown. He brought that on himself.
Given how he acts both in and out of the ring.
Yeah, he's an asshat. I mean,
he's not taking the sport serious. He's not taking the sport serious for us.
Well, how you gonna take it serious when you're a freeweight champion already and you're just about to get your full well? He just achieved everything too young. And we're in the days of social media. we get to see how these guys play out. If this happened years ago, we wouldn't have to see none of these shitting on the toilet with money in the toilet and all the and all the stupid stuff he done. Just the other day on his channel, he got his car, he got his fiance car towed by the the repo man, and he was playing a game with a car. This is on his YouTube channel.
But here's the thing. Fighters in the past, like Sugar Ray Robinson, they used to be going to the club till 6 in the morning, but you'll see them at 8 running 6 miles a day.
Exactly.
Sugar Ray Leonard, he was a partier. Nobody didn't talk about it, but he still tended to business. Tyson, before he lost his way, he would be out there, but would still tend to business.
Yeah. Well,
Broner doesn't do that.
Broner does do that. Broner.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
He's in shape. He comes in. He ain't never missed.
No.
He's in shape. Yeah, he's in shape.
Let me retract. Yeah, he has missed weight. The only problem with Broner is Broner's an idiot. When you're on top, yeah, you don't know how to stay there. You should have never picked bloody Marcus Maidana for a joke fight. Thought it was good. Took the mick. That's what happens in boxing if you don't take it seriously. And he got looked for the clown, but he brought on himself. Now people think it's a joke, but he can still fight. He's still a world-class fighter. I think this thing he's fighting out of his weight class.
But until he really sits back and looks in the mirror, it's not going to happen. Look, the fight with Porter, the day of the fight, he goes into the Mayweather gym and basically hanging out with them all day. Mayweather told him to his face, bruh, you look a little tired. You need to go back to the hotel, get off your legs, and get some rest. What he do? He disregarded Mayweather. His idol. Stayed in the gym, hung out in the gym, hung out in Vegas all day long, stayed on his feet instead of going back and instead of listening to his idol, getting some rest, getting off of his feet, paying attention, and guess what happened in the Porter fight?
What? He knocked down Porter. He knocked down Porter in the fight.
That was one round.
I didn't win in the fight. I don't care what anyone tells me.
How did you have him? Okay.
He was like, punches. And you know what gives me joke about the whole thing with Broner?
That's your opinion.
Because he's a clown, yeah. Because he's turned himself into a clown. Anything he does now is so thing, the humping and dry humping behind people. He's turned himself into a clown. So anything he does, he's poisoned everything about him. People just take him not seriously, and that's all to do with what he's been doing outside the ring. But my point is this: he's going for his fourth weight. When you've achieved what he's achieved at freeweight champ, if you can show on it, whatever. Freeweight champ, he jumped up from lightweight to welterweight, regardless of it was a close fight with Paulie, and then now you're fighting for another world title. It's gone to his head. That's all it is. You know, these guys, when you achieve things too youngly, you're just taking it from the granted. And that's all it is. He's suffering thing with young age. That's all it is, man.
But look at his idol. Who did I say his idol? Mayweather. Mayweather accomplished the same things when he was young. And say what you want about him, how he acts outside the ring, he always tended to business inside of the ring. Look, Mayweather won the title young, moved up quick to win at junior lightweight, moved up to quick to win lightweight. Then look at all the weight divisions he's gone to, and look what he stayed disciplined.
Who's his role model?
And he did so young.
Who's Mayweather's role model? Who's Mayweather's role models? Who's his role models? His father and his uncle. You
but that doesn't matter, though.
It doesn't matter.
I'll tell you why it matters. I'll tell you why it matters. They're former fighters. They will whoop your ass if you don't do that. They will whoop his ass, bro. Broner's fat. Look at Broner's fat, looking like the penguin dad and the other guy.
But look at Mayweather.
No, I'm being real. Seriously, I'm being real. Like, you gotta look on your role models around you, right, to tell you. Look how he talked to his coach in the corner. This is very serious that I'm talking about. It's gone to his head. The only person he respects is Floyd, and Floyd is reaping his rewards of all the hard work he's done, and that's how Broner sees him now. You gotta look. Floyd's role models. He talks to his dad and his uncle, and they're Rogers, a former 2 world champion. His dad fought Sugar Ray Leonard. They are knowledgeable people. That's what I'm gonna say to you. Broner hasn't got that. He talks to Floyd, and Floyd's just gonna tell him and clown. Floyd's like, yeah, you need to do that, but Floyd's not gonna tell. If he really want, that's why if he really wanted some information, he should have talked to Floyd's dad. You think if Floyd's dad was training people to do that shit, you're crazy. Floyd's dad will beat him up, man. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Broner has achieved too much. That's why he's going on like that. He ain't got no role models. Yeah, he ain't listening to no one no more. It's gone to his head, and that's all it comes down to. And I'll tell you.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying. He's a lost cause now.
Yeah, and you're talking about a Floyd Senior, and you're talking about a Floyd Junior for a long time disowned his dad, kicked him out of his house. He wasn't listening to his Floyd Senior all those years, for a majority of it until lately. And it's Mayweather.
He listens to his uncle and he listens to Bernie. He listens to his uncle. Listen, he's got there's a chain.
And the self-discipline, and the discipline that ultimately comes to self. It comes to self. Mayweather, at the end of the day, it's about self-discipline, and Broner doesn't have it.
In the Mayweather family, the chain of command. Yeah, they have Bernie. They have Bernie's the grandma. They have Floyd. They have Floyd Senior. You have Roger, and you have Jeff. Right, and he goes down. You even have Garcia, the guy, the Cutsman. He's old. And then you have, what's his name again? The Buddha, the dude. What's his name again? Lellaby. You have Al Heyman. Mayweather's got a whole connection of people he listens to who he respects. Broner, who's he respect? He don't respect Mike Stafford. He definitely don't listen. His dad be taking the money and eating it straight away. And his girlfriend over there modeling, he ain't got no one respect. That's what it comes down to. But having said all that, he's challenging he's going to be a full world champion. I got him winning this fight.
That's a full belt.
Mr. Pound for Pound. Hold on, EJ. EJ, hold on a second. Mr. Pound for Pound is 11:30.
I know, but I don't. That's interim belt. That belt doesn't really count. Who's the real WBA? Who's the real WBA champ? That's all that matters. I don't count that belt. That's meaningless.
Come on, man. Don't say that, man.
It is. You and I both know it.
When Jesse Vargas had the belt, it was meaningless. It wasn't meaningless when Jesse Vargas had the belt.
To me, it was.
Oh, come on, man. That guy's this is a credible opponent. If you don't like Broner, fine. The bottom line is, I got him winning the fight. If he wins the fight, becomes a 4-weight champion. You can't take that away from him. And that's what I was.
You and I both know those interim belts, those super belts, particularly when it comes to the WBA. That's all about collecting sanctioning fees.
Come on, man. He ain't win no interim belt. When does Broner win an interim belt? When is he? This is the first time. This is the first time he's collecting an interim belt. I got him in this fight. So,
And again, that interim belt is about collecting sanctioning fees.
Nah, man. It's a belt. It's a well belt. It's a legit belt.
Against a guy who nobody knows until Taisha's point lost his last fight coming in.
That guy beat what's that guy? That Cuban guy that everyone was talking about. He bashed him up. What's that guy? What's his name? Come on, man.
Dang it. He's not Cuban. He's Dominican, I think.
Dominican. There you go. What's his name?
Shucks. I forgot his surname.
His name's Juan. It's not John. Yeah, he beat him. That Cuban guy. That guy was a threat, and he messed up his leg.
That Russian dude is real, man. He beat 3 or 4 really well-named. Vargas is the only guy that beat him, and I think Vargas got the decision. I don't think he won that fight.
The real fight. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I never just said it wasn't a real fight. I don't even know
if Broner will win that fight, to be honest with you. That's how tricky it is.
Okay, I disagree, but we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up at this point. I'll go around the table here. I'll go to Gail, unmute your mic for folks who want to talk boxing and anything else. Let the folks know where they can hit you up.
Well, first of all, you're going to see me at the fights, but if you don't see me there, you'll see me at Communities Digital News, which is COM, C-O-M-M, Digi, D-I-G-I News, comdiginews.com. And I'm always chattering up on Twitter during the fights at PR Pro San Diego. And all you likes here.
I'll go to EJ Boxing Live, join us live from the UK. I know it's late out there. For folks who want to talk boxing or anything else, let the folks know where they can find you.
4 in the morning, 4:33 in the morning. You see, I'm a diehard, bro. I come on your show. Yeah, talk boxing, EJ Boxing Live on Twitter. I already gave up my Facebook because I ain't got my real name and stuff. Only close friends. But anyway, you can catch me. I do my Google Hangouts, Throwback Mondays, and we do Prediction Wednesdays, and on Michael's show. So you can catch me on them 3 formats. That's all.
Taisha Lace, for folks who want to talk boxing or anything else, let the folks know where they can find you.
On Twitter at KAYEZEL25, and I am from New Jersey. He never shouts out where I'm from. He says where everybody else is from. It's just Taisha's live.
Taisha from New Jersey. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Join us live from Trinidad. What you need for folks who want to talk boxing or anything else, let the folks know we can hit you up and talk about your series that's going on currently.
So I'm What You Need. As you can see, WATTUNEED. on YouTube, and of course I got these two series that taking forever to finish. But anyway, Floyd Mayweather TBE, and I said Jose Luis Castillo versus Roberto Duran. A level of opposition and skills up to lightweight. So that'll be coming out soon.
And for folks who want to talk boxing, anything else with me, brother JR76 on Twitter. If you want to find out anything about the Pound for Pound Boxing Report, just go to the blog page, p4pboxingreport.wordpress.com. Just check the right of the blog. To the right of the blog page, you can find links to find us all over social media, all over the interwebs. We'll probably take next week off because again, there's nothing really happening boxing wise. So we'll probably return in 2 weeks to talk Abner Mars, Leo Santa Cruz, talk that bout and other bouts that's going to be happening that weekend. Excuse me. I want to thank everybody for joining us. For EJ Boxing Live, for Gail Falkenthal, from Taisha from New Jersey, for What You Need, for Sean Newton and Mr. Boxing Addict who joined us early on the show. This has been another episode of the Pound for Pound Boxing Report. You guys have a good evening. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.